Welcome back, strangers. A couple of months ago, I was visiting my brother, who happens to live in southern Wisconsin in a town called Elkhorn, Wisconsin. The area around the small town is pretty rural, with lots of backcountry roads with nothing but woods, homes, and family farms on them. One night, we were out late and were about 10 or 15-minute drive from where we lived when we decided to take my, when he decided to take me down Bray Road. Going down this road on the left side of the road is about 10 or so feet clearing with just dirt and grass before it hits thick brush and trees. It was a little after 11 p.m. at this point, and as we were driving, I was in the passenger seat. I noticed this large black-like dog on the side of the road, but something wasn't right. It looked like it was crouched down, as a human being would be, waiting to jump up or out at something. It wasn't looking over in our direction, but you could tell that its head was dog-like. As we got closer and the light started to shine on it immediately, it turned its head towards us and stood up, and it made a horrible hissing-like sound. I don't know how else to describe it. Both my brother and I turned sheet white at this point, and he had slammed our brakes. About 30 feet away from us on the side of the road, standing was this. I don't even know what to call it. I want to say werewolf, because that's the only thing that really describes what it looked like. Maybe it was a skinwalker. I don't know. This beast had piercing, sharp yellow eyes that for some reason didn't reflect at all when the light hit them, but they almost seemed to glow on their own, which was creepy of itself. This thing had a longer snout and a very sharp pointed ears, and was massively tall. When it hissed at us, you could see how sharp and massive its teeth were. The creature was terrifying. It jumped up on two legs and moved fast. This thing honestly looked like something out of a horror movie.
We had our windows rolled down all the way home, and we smelled what I can only describe as if you mixed garbage, decaying flesh, and wet dog together. This thing was about 8 or 9 feet and looked to be made of pure muscle. It was big and extremely lean. It looked like an extremely muscular but lean human body. This beast had very shaggy and hairy with okay, that's how the sentence wrote. Finger like claws, pretty much like you'd see in a typical werewolf movie. I didn't get a chance to stare at the feet or anything as I was motionless staring at this thing. We only got to stare at it for what seemed like a few seconds before it let out this horrible scream that shook me and my brother to the core. It immediately started to pace towards our truck aggressively with its claws baring and teeth baring as if it were extremely aggressive and ready to kill. Me and my brother screamed at the top of our lungs and floored it as hard as we could. We literally sped all the way home, and we didn't say a word the rest of the way. We didn't sleep at all that night, and I haven't been the same person ever since. What I saw that night truly terrified me so bad, and I'm sharing this with people because I hope they can educate themselves and know what's out there, or that it will help someone speak up and share their experience and not worry about the ridicule. This was almost a perfect description of an encounter with the beast of Bray Road, a creature reported on the rural road outside of Elkhorn, Wisconsin, and other areas around Wisconsin and northern Illinois. Sightings of the beast of Bray Road go back as far as the 1930s. However, it wasn't sighted frequently or reported thoroughly until around 1989 through 1992. Most of the sightings have occurred when one or more people stumbled upon or drove past the animal while it was eating or possibly hunting, scavenging. Sightings of the animal have tapered off since the 90s, but the creature can supposedly be seen in the woods of the area.
Bray Road is a quiet rural road near the community of Elkhorn. A rash of sightings occurred in the late 90s and were promoted by the local papers. Finally, a reporter was assigned to cover just the stories. Originally, she was very skeptical, but later was convinced of the sincerity of all the witnesses to write a book, which eventually became The Beast of Bray Road, the telling tale of Wisconsin's werewolf. The creature is described to be 6 to 8 feet tall, with grayish and brown fur. His face is said to resemble that of a dog or a wolf with pointed ears. It reportedly has long claws on each hand. It also has shiny yellow eyes. Its body has been likened to that of a lean, muscular man, It also tends to sit back on its hind like haunches or kneel like a man. The beast reportedly can run and walk on all four legs or just on its hind legs. It's been seen eating its prey or scavenging with its hands, with its palms facing upwards. It has never attacked anyone. No one's actually been attacked by it, but witnesses claim that it is very aggressive whenever they see it. This aggressive behavior includes running at people, jumping over their vehicles. And the creature's diet is not known for sure. But it has been seen eating carcasses and roadkill lying around. The Beast of Bray Road counts as the most famous modern American werewolf. It has been seen in the media regularly since its first sightings were publicized, and it even had a low-budget movie based on its legend. Because numerous witnesses have come forward with evidence of this creature, it is the most supporting evidence of any werewolf legend. Most cryptozoologists have decided to label it as a Bigfoot in order to avoid dealing with the scientific absurdities involving werewolves and their existence. However, some people think that that's a cryptid canine instead. Some researchers consider the Beast of Bray Road to be identified under different names, such as the Bluff Monster or Eddie, and other names have been used, like a bear wolf, indigenous dogman, or even the Native American legend of the Wendigo. But what do you think the creature is? Yeah, what do you think the creature is, strangers? That was a super long opening. Hope you guys stayed with it. But we'd like to introduce our special guest, Spooky Whispering, and tell us about yourself, Spooky.
Hi, I'm Spooky Whispering, or you can just call me Spooky. I do horror ASMR, which is a little bit different, just a tiny bit. Spooky stuff, kidnapping, breaking your bones, telling my own personal experiences with the paranormal, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So you guys should definitely check out our channel. It should be linked in the description below, and we'll be linking it also. I need to copy it. But thanks for coming on. For those that don't know, my name is Blake. I am the voice of the Strangest for the most part. I do some of the editing, the lulls, stuff like that. That's me.
Yeah. And I'm Ethan. I write and help edit some and try to fix butchered stories. Like this story came from Reddit, the intro part of the guy's encounter. And it was like a struggle, and I still had like a couple of sentences I messed up. So I'm sorry, guys, because it was really bad before. But it was a really good story, and it was like perfect for the opening. I originally found it to use at the end of a live stream, and then I was going through all the stuff I had saved. I'm like, wow, this is perfect. Can't believe I actually had a story on this creature. So it was inspired by the Ghost Watch live stream last week. He talked about the Michigan Dogman. After that, I read up more about it and found this, and I wanted to talk about cryptids because I linked Spooky's cryptid video down below in the description, so check it out. But what do you guys think of this, Blake and Spooky?
I think it's creepy, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be something. I mean,
it could be something.
Yeah. I mean, you know, people, I mean, the legends come from somewhere as far as like, you know, Wendigos and werewolves and Bigfoot and stuff like that. People seem to be seeing something that, you know, some kind of animal that's, you know, different, the Mothman. So it could be out there.
Yeah. I really like this. Also, the reason why I chose this is because it's like encompasses a lot of different cryptids. Like some people even say it's a skinwalker, werewolf, the Native American spirit, and there's just so many different things Bigfoot it could be, and there's so many different reports of it, and like I said, it could be related to the Michigan Dogman that's in the same general area, so you never know.
I almost think it's a little unfortunate that they want to throw it in with the Bigfoot umbrella.
Yeah, it's really unique.
Because, yeah, it does actually sound like it's described a bit differently, and so it's like you're going to confuse people by combining those two things, because that's one thing when I'm trying to look up what I saw, it's like, is it a this, is it a that, but it doesn't fit these criteria, it doesn't fit this criteria, it wasn't hairy, it wasn't this, and it's like, so It's like you think the cryptozoologists would be a little better about specifying their different classifications differently. That's all I'm saying.
That's pretty neat stories, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there. Like a lot of like Dogman stories. Even one of the stories we're gonna end on tonight's a Dogman story. So there's a lot of people who see some weird shit like that. So
yeah, the fact that people they were comparing it to a Wendigo is pretty interesting. Because don't get me wrong, I'm not an expert on Wendigos, but from what I understand, it's like a Native American spirit that was kind of turned into a monster. I could be wrong. Oh, it was cannibals. That was what it was.
It's linked to the cannibalism in a little bit, or other impure, dark magic dealings.
Yeah. I just remember watching a Supernatural episode on it.
That's why they smell like garbage.
Oh. So now we're calling out their smells. They're like, not only
yeah, but it seems like he's too muscular for what you'd think of as a Wendigo, because they're supposed to be like, no matter how much they consume, they're always still starving. I think that's supposed to be part of it.
That's me. I'm a Wendigo. The day I learned. But yeah. Hey, everybody in the chat. Sorry, I've been struggling lately about reading the chat.
Yeah, catch up with them, man.
Got it. Thank you, Charlene and Ghostwatch, for checking out Spooky's channel, and thanks, Ghostwatch, for tuning in. It was fun having you on last week. If you guys haven't checked him out, be sure to, as well as Spooky, of course. The Ghostwatch said a lot of people believe they are forest guardians. Could be. I mean, it seems like every cryptid has its own story. Like the Mothman's a precognitive being that warns of disasters. You know, these could be people. I mean, you know, creatures that watch over the forest. So
there's one in North Alabama where I'm from that's White Thang, spelt with an A instead of an I. White Thang.
That's great.
It's a Bigfoot category one, but it's supposed to be solid white. But see, my grandmother told the stories slightly different from what you'll find online. Like most of the stories say that it's, you know, not aggressive, this and that. My grandmother told it that it got very, like, extremely aggressive during lightning storms. And that, like, cattle and stuff would turn up dead, and that you wanted to get away from it if you ever saw it during a lightning storm.
And that was in northern Alabama?
Yes. You can look it up. There is some stuff online about White Thang. But yeah, my grandmother told it a little bit different, but it's in a big triangle zone across the northern area of North Alabama. It's been seen for decades.
Wow. We should have gone there, Ethan. But we had a struggle in Alabama. Like we got stuck.
Yeah.
Oh shit, sorry.
But yeah, we got stuck on a bridge.
That.
You learn after a while. Like I remember, like every live stream, I've learned a new thing to mute. So it's fine. But yeah, when we were in Alabama, we wanted to go to all these places. We didn't know about the White Thing, but we got stuck on a bridge for 3.5 hours.
Yeah, so we'll have to go back one day, and because I even made an outline of stuff to film, and we didn't get to because of the traffic jam. So
I can tell you a couple of actual local backwoods places. I'll let y'all know a couple of places where I personally saw stuff, because I'm finally getting into those stories on my channels, the shit I've seen.
Yeah. So, like, on your channel, do you write out your stuff before? Like, do you have a script of, like, do you write it, or do you just go on the fly? Like, I'm ASMR and telling this crazy-ass story that is really scary.
So far, I've done one of each. My first story about the ghost headlights, I just winged it just to see what it was like, as if I'm talking to you, my friends, telling you about this shit. I saw this one time. But with the cryptid story, I had to write it out. There was no way I was going to be able to get through telling that one without, like, breaking down and crying. So I had to go through a script. I did it off camera so that I could stop and sniffle, wipe my eyes, whatever, and do all that stuff, because it's like that one still terrifies me to this day. Like other things I encounter, like, not that bad, or, you know, maybe bad, but nothing as bad as that one. So it's like I had to write it out. I just couldn't get through the story any other way.
See, I'd freak out if I saw anything like that. Like, I mean, ghosts, it's like, oh, what are you going to do? But, like, if I came across an actual, like, monster, I'd be like, oh.
Well, yeah. Looks like I'm dead.
Yeah, you're literally there shitting your pants, and it's like some people don't want to believe me, and it's like I wrote in my story, I was freaking out. Like, I had snot and tears, and I was shaking. Like, it wasn't, I didn't make myself to be all heroic. I did the thing. No,
it was so descriptive.
Freaking out.
Like, you made it feel like we were there. It was creepy.
See, that's what I want. I want you to be there with me. So then I'm not alone in it anymore.
Yeah, that's terrifying. Let's see. What's going on in the chat? Connor, said, it's not cannibalism if you're hungry. That's true, I guess.
It's not cannibalism if your stomachs don't touch.
It's not murder if you're angry enough. Yeah. But Ghostwatch said he loved being on the podcast. Y'all are awesome. Thanks, Ghostwatch. You're awesome, man. Thanks for being on it. We'll do it again sometime. We love doing the whole thing. We'll just have a massive live stream one day. Just have everybody on it.
That'd be crazy. It'd be fun, though.
We'll all be talking over each other.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Charlene said, you have one Indigenous American person in here. That is me. I can inform you on what Indigenous American creatures are. Cool. That's awesome. Go for it. The more we know, the better. But like the Native American lore is really cool. I've heard a lot of interesting stories, so I'm definitely down to learn about that. Hi, Pink Spooky. Now we got two Spookies. That's going to get confusing. So, Pink. Rebecca said you should do a video or something on those stories, Charlene. That sounds really interesting. I agree.
Yeah, explaining them all, that would be very useful.
Mm-hmm. Because cryptids are really cool, especially the lesser known ones. I mean, you know, Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, they all get drilled into the ground. But, you know, the lesser known ones, they're pretty cool. So
or the completely unidentified ones.
Like the long legs monster. That's my favorite. Like, it's just, it's a, if you haven't seen it, it's a story that actually got recommended by a guy named Unit 522. He's a bigger YouTuber. And he just had a couple stories, and it's really creepy. It's like stories will pop up every now and then that aren't even the same name, but they have the same story. Like Ethan came across one. And
I did, and I wish I would have saved it. I found this YouTube video that described it perfectly when I was like going through looking at other people's channels, and then I somehow clicked off of it and had a bunch of tabs open, and I couldn't find it again in my history either. So, but it even happened in Virginia where one of the stories took place, and it was really creepy.
Oh God, sorry, beer. Pink said Owlman is my favorite. It's such a meme. I don't think I'm familiar with the Owlman.
I don't know about it being a meme, but I know it's similar to Mothman. They say it's kind of related. And actually, like, I was looking at a bunch of cryptids trying to decide which one like we were going to talk about, because I didn't want it to be one we'd actually do a video on, so it was kind of tough to choose, because I'd like to do a Wendigo video one day, but I don't want to ruin it on this by going all, this is the video.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'd like to do that too, because I mean, I only know the basics naturally, but I'd like to look more into the lore and find out more about the Wendigos. Wendigos. I'm pronouncing it wrong either way. But yeah, I want to know more. I'll be right back. I gotta get another beer. So,
okay. All right, I'll carry it.
We'll hold down the fort.
I appreciate it.
All right, Spooky. So what's your favorite cryptid? Is it the one you witnessed, or like what's your favorite?
It's like my least favorite one.
Okay,
the one I saw.
Literally.
What cryptid is furthest away from me on the planet? That's the one I like. No, I've always really liked the Mothman, like that story, especially that he's been seen before more than one horrible incident. I think there's also one like that for South Carolina or North Carolina. That's the Gray Man.
Oh, we did it. Yeah, we did it. Well, it's where they do the warning. We just did the Pawleys Island on Gray Man. Yeah, it's
the warning ones are the ones that I find kind of interesting.
Yeah,
Like, that's kind of neat, like, coming to warn us that something's gonna go down. I think
Yeah,
that's
it's creepy. You don't know, man.
something otherworldly knowing before we do.
Yeah.
I used to be fond of skinwalkers, but now that I live closer to skinwalker territory, I'm like
Yeah.
less so fond. Like, I don't want to run into one. I've had people suggest that what I saw could have been a skinwalker because it's like, well, they could technically be anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shapeshifters, whatever they feel like, but it's like, I don't know. I wouldn't know about that because usually there's a general territory of kind of things they look like, the tailless dog, the deer walking on 2 feet, those sort of things.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Deer can kind of be weird to begin with. So
Deer can be weird.
yeah.
Deer are weird. They're weirdos.
No,
but some of them are cute weirdos.
Yeah, I like the Mothman because that was the first cryptid we ever did. It's also like inspired our channel, our logo, the red eyes, and then
special place in your heart.
Yeah, definitely. We went to Point Pleasant. We went to in the Mothman home and everything.
Yeah, I heard y'all talking about that.
Yeah, so I'd like to do that with other cryptids, but I don't know. I went to Loch Ness on me and Rebecca's honeymoon. We went to Loch Ness. That was awesome. So,
I hadn't heard about that. That's great.
Yeah. So that was creepy. But there's a lot of stuff, like the Scottish Highlands have a lot of like lore up there. So, but Blake, what's your favorite cryptid? I think I've asked you this before. You should just have stock answers, man.
I mean, Mothman naturally has the most like.
We're a Mothman team.
Yeah, Mothman has the. Oh, did you say Mothman too?
Yeah. They have the festival and everything, and it's amazing if you go. It's really cool. We should find out what it takes to have a Mothman booth. That way we could spread the gospel of the strangest to people. So
just start knocking on doors. Excuse me, I'd like to talk to you about our Lord and Savior Mothman.
Yeah.
The red eyes that just see through your soul, judge your sins. But yeah, like I think that's just because it's the closest one I've been to. Like, being in the actual area, getting to explore the Mothman TNT home, getting to go to the festival, see all the people that were so about it. So yeah, right now it holds a pretty special place in my heart. Like if I didn't get to go to Loch Ness, so I didn't get to have that experience. But yeah, so that's really cool.
I mean, Mothman, you were more like there. Like Loch Ness is huge, so I don't even really know like the spot it was seen. Like we went mostly around it, but I didn't really see anything. Like at least Mothman, I felt like I was in his living room. It was like a connection there. So
yeah, it's like we got to hang out, man. Me and the Mothman.
Yeah,
got to get that footage that's gonna make us famous, according to that guy.
Yeah.
To those that don't know, we had a guy that was like, make your channel better is if you could actually get the footage of Bigfoot, and like I think that would really help your channel. I think that would really help your channel. Like, yeah, dude.
That's what everybody wants, footage of Bigfoot.
Yeah,
that's what we missed. Like we made this channel and we just missed that part, the crucial part.
And next
like,
time,
nah, man, we're not even gonna try. We don't need the footage of them.
Nah, everybody's got the footage. We just got a dog named Sasquatch, which. To those who haven't already noticed, we got the Sasquatch shirts. It says "I believe in Sasquatch" with a little palm squatch here. The thing is, like, we're not even trying to like advertise these for people to buy them. We just advertise them because we're proud of our stupid selves.
Yeah, we're trying different designs to eventually get it to where we might have something different. Blake and Rebecca are working on a new one. They're just all prototyping us for stuff to wear. That's Blessed Be the Strangest, or the Strangers. Blessed Be the Strangers with Father Michael all wardrobed up, and the outline of him. Blessed Be the Strangers.
I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah. So. But
yeah, how is Father Michael doing? Haven't seen him in a little bit.
Oh, he's actually here. Like his mom, I saw us pre-gaming with his mom. Like his mom's talking to my aunt in the kitchen of our work, and they're all in there just drinking. So they're having fun. So if you ever hear like random noises back here, that's them cackling and having a good time. So.
So back on to the chat. Charlene, God, I'm falling behind. Charlene, I'm sorry guys, I've been drinking since I got off work. I was like, I'm gonna pregame really good because I already saw that Spooky had posted about Patron. I was like, well,
I got him going. He's like, okay, I got to keep up. Giant bottle of Patron. I got this giant mug of beer. Let's do it.
Get it going. But Charlene said I do plan on telling stories about indigenous American creatures on my story time Saturday soon. Cool. So everybody go check out Charlene.
Yeah, tomorrow's Saturday. Get excited.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Pink said I recorded a video on it. It'll be on my channel soon. Wingman, Owlman, Ring Owlman. I'm too drunk for this. Not drunk. I'm not drunk. I don't know what you're talking about. By the way, that's why I kept stuttering over the story because I had to take a screenshot of it and it blurred it a little bit. So I'm already a little bit tipsy, and then I'm trying to read blurred letters, and I'm just like, "Was this? What's English?"
Yeah, I don't have my glasses on because they would cause a horrible reflection. So it's like I got to do my reading without my glasses.
Yeah, I actually have glasses that I went to the optometrist to get tested for and everything, and they were like, "Oh, here's a 0.5 prescription or something." I was like, "I'll just wear it for style." And now I'm starting to need it, and it's making me really depressed because like I'll see things, it's like, "Oh, that didn't used to be blurry before."
Yep, that's how mine started, and then it was a 0.75, and then it was a 0.1, or now I'm at a 1. And things are starting to get blurry again because it's been a year since my eyes exam last time.
That's why I drink so much, just so people be like, "Can you see?" It's like, "Nah, man, it's just because I'm drunk. I got
drunk.
Don't judge me."
You guys gotta be able to see these cryptids, man. You gotta be able to.
Okay, I'm gonna refill my drink really quick.
Right.
Okay, I'll carry it.
Right.
But yeah, so. Oh, was that me? No, never mind.
Blake, you're just messing things up, dude.
Hey, Carrie, I don't know if I said that already. Thanks for being here. Now they're just talking about Hulk Hogan. Okay. I can't work with that, Connor. But yeah, I hope you guys are all doing well. I guess since she's gone, I'm going to go ahead and say, did you guys check out the Pokemon video this week? I did a video, and it was fun to make. And a lot of people hated it because it wasn't a real story. Like we got.
I mean, you don't know if it's real. I mean, it's a creepypasta, which could be based on true stuff. It's like an internet urban legend, so you never know. So yeah. I mean, there's definitely frequencies that mess with certain people. It's an effect. I mean, I linked a comment about that on Stay Strange about it, but it could really be a thing. I mean, it was in early copies of the game. You never know. So.
Yeah, people got so butthurt over it. They're like, "This is a fake story." It's like, dude, in the video, it says creepypasta.
It says creepypasta. Like, that's owning up to it. Like, this is fiction.
Yeah, you never know, like, any of this stuff. I mean, you're definitely taking in people's word. I mean, some stories have more merits than others, so you never know.
Yeah, they were getting so mad. It was like, he was like, you should at least tell people it's fake. And it's like, well, okay, so let me be like, Lavender Town Syndrome, which is fake. They say that allegedly happened, but it didn't. In 1990s, but it didn't. Don't listen to it. And
you
apparently
compromised the integrity of our channel, man. That's what he said.
Fake news.
Integrity.
God, wait till they find out about the Slender Man video. Oh my god. Yeah, people are just
a movie on that though.
Yeah, people are just hating. This is just a rough couple days for like haters. Just like we usually don't get too many YouTube haters, but people were like really showing their ignorance, like coming up on our videos. It wasn't even good hate. It was just like stupid hate, like people that are idiots and they don't understand what they're talking about hate.
They don't even understand us.
You don't get it. It's not a phase, Mom.
Yeah. These are creepy. Oh, look, Kitty.
Oh,
this is Dr. Claudia Claw. She's begging for some attention. Oh, but I don't want to be on camera. Run away.
Let's see. Connor said, sorry, I haven't been in Discord and all the streams lately. I've been going through teenage things. Dude, I know. Being a teenager sucks.
Enjoy teenage angst while you can. You got a good excuse, man.
Yeah, just rage at your parents. They'll understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of Discord, everyone should join our Discord if you haven't already. It's fun times.
That's the way to keep up with us. So.
Spooky's there. She's having a good time, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. Be sure to join in on that. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I got the questions for Spooky that we can scatter throughout here. All right. Well, some of them have already been answered. So was that cryptid encounter you had the creepiest thing what's some other things that you've had happen to you? Like, have you had things that are not that you can talk about that aren't going to be videos, or like have you always had stuff happen to you, or is it because some people seem like they have more of a connection to strange things, like it's more drawn to them. So
Yeah, I've pretty much had strange things happening since the earliest one I can remember is when I was 8. And I mean, I will cover it in a video eventually one day, but I can go ahead and talk about it a little bit now. It was a seance. My sisters are a lot older than me. They are 8 and 9 years older than me. So there's a big gap. And they needed a third person for their seance that they were having. And some creepy things happened with the shadows and like me moving and looking at my shadow and my shadow not moving. So it's like, that's one of the earliest like weird things I can remember. But my middle sister saw auras when she was a little kid and would talk about people and be like, why is Uncle Bobby all blue and black, and they'd be like, what are you talking about? Figured out later she was talking about auras that she would see. It runs in the family. I've got these stories about it, and it's one of those things, like, believe it or not, if you want to, whatever. My mom lived in a haunted house, and every single female in my family, me, all my sisters, all my female cousins, my mom, all of her sisters, my grandmother, all of her sisters, and my great-grandmother and her sisters, we all have a mole in the exact same place. Wow. Now, back in the witch hunting days, it would be called a devil's mark, or where you had been touched by Satan, making a contract. But like, my mom lived in a haunted house, had lots of stuff happen to her. Stuff's always happened to my sisters. My aunts have stories. So, we kind of half joke, half don't joke that we're a witch's family. Like, I've had somebody explain it to me once, and this was the lady that ran the witch shop back in the city that I used to live in. She's just like, you make the energy that they can feed on, like spirits and stuff like that. She's like, your energy is easy to draw from because they have to draw their energy from somewhere to make stuff happen, like moving stuff, poltergeist activity, knocking, and you make a lot of it. So it's easier for them to be active when you're around. That's how she explained it. So it's like, I don't know how much stock I can put in that, but I've had a lot of stuff happen. And some people are just like, I wish something would happen. I wish I would see something. And I'm just like, oh, shit, this again.
That's me. Like, my sister, I have a twin sister. And she's, from when we were kids to recently, she's claimed that she's seen full body apparitions and stuff like that, and she's terrified of it. Like, she doesn't like it. She doesn't like talking about it that much. And then I'm over here like, please happen to me. I want to see it, And it just, I'm still under the impression that it happens to the people that don't want to deal with it. So it's like, I hear things sometimes, but I've never seen anything. But for me to believe fully in something, I have to have concrete proof. Yeah. So just hoping one day.
The most I see is like if you call them like the shadow people, things in the corner of your eye or something weird ass like moves, like almost like a figure, and that's creepy. And I had one like kind of glitch in the Matrix where it seemed like, but I've been on the computer all day, which I'm always on for like work computer, then the strangest afterwards. So this could be like eye fatigue, but I did have one where it almost looked like I like looked up. And it looked like at the doorway of the room, it like shimmered, like almost like it was like a glitch or like something like cloaked, like in a movie or a video game, and just like left the door, and that was creepy. So,
Ethan, you're having a stroke.
I know that too. I mean, I was just like, oh man, I don't know, my eyes are just really dry, or what's going on? I just need to get off the computer, man.
And too much look at that screen, man. That'll kill you. I'm still struggling. Sorry, guys.
Doodle said their son would play with the same shadow lady I used to play with when I was a kid in my grandma's house.
Holy fuck. Yeah.
Nope.
Also, Michael Scott's here, man. We need him on a live stream. We tried one time, but he's busy. He crushes so many videos. Go check him out. If you're not subscribed to Michael Scott, he's literally, I don't know. There's so many YouTubers here right now. I don't say he's my favorite. He's close. I like Michael Scott a whole lot.
Michael Scott holds a special place in our heart. He was our first collaboration.
Yeah,
but I really enjoy Michael Scott's videos.
He works really hard. Makes me like envious of how much he puts out. So
yeah, so go subscribe to him. Good stuff. But yeah, you should be on a live stream, Michael. We need you on a live stream.
/ another collaboration. So he's doubled in size since we collaborated with him. So
that's our
really cool.
I mean, you're welcome, Michael.
Definitely. Yeah. It's not all the other videos he's been killing lately.
No, that's not it at all. It's not all the hard work. It's just definitely us. But yeah, good to see you, man. Pamela said, I have the psychic aptitude of a baked potato. Yeah, that's where I am, I guess. It's like, I want to, like, we went on a ghost tour recently and they were like, all right, for the ghost to react, you have to be really open to them. And I'm naturally a skeptic, but I was trying my best. I was like, all right, be open. And nothing substantial happened. But Rebecca, she screwed it up. She was the one that was being so negative.
It happened so bad at the St. Augustine. Like, it was so set up perfectly for something to happen. I'm like, if anything's going to happen, it's going to be tonight. And then by the end of the night, I'm like falling asleep. It's bad. I wish something would have happened. I've been going back through all the footage yet, so there still might be something there because I've found a couple strange things in our past footage, so you never know. But still, I really felt like something was going to happen. So
I was hoping for it.
Yeah, it just felt like there's spirits. No, the lady had me sold. Like, this place is haunted as fuck. Like, let's do this. So
yeah, Michael said I'll DM you. Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Michael. We appreciate it. But yeah, I thought something was going to happen that night too, because it was like I still haven't gone through the footage. I'm struggling, but I have some night vision footage of the entire ghost tour, which I need to put up. But maybe something happened,
Yeah.
Because we did get some reactions. Like, I mean, it's stuff that like could be, disproven, like a flashlight turning on and off and stuff like that. But it happened on command.
I like that better than those. What are they called? The little word machines?
Oh, ghost
voice boxes or ghost boxes.
I don't like those. I don't like those at all.
Those, like, sometimes
I would
it's
believe
weird.
A flashlight turning on and off faster than a ghost box because it's like, but it's just gonna spit out things constantly.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think it really works on a whole, kind of a shotgun thing. It'll say random words, and sometimes it'll make sense. Sometimes it doesn't, of course. But like, we were on a different tour, and like it was saying words, and it was like, oh yeah, the ghost guy said that word 20 minutes ago. That must be a ghost. I was like, but yeah. I'd like to get one for the lulz. I want to have, my goal is to get an entire setup of equipment so we can do investigations and stuff like dowsing rods and stuff like that.
Okay, least favorite thing. Promise me if you do investigations, if you hear a noise, don't do that thing where it's like, oh, did you hear that? Let's be loud all of a sudden. Did you hear that? Dude, did you hear that? Don't. I want to strangle the guys. It's like, if you heard a noise, use some sort of sign signal. Don't make more noise. You're messing up the recording. Don't do that. I hate that.
Yeah, I really, I've only done two investigations. One was in St. Albans Sanatorium in Virginia, but I'm very analytical, I guess you could say. Like, if I feel something, I'm gonna be like, all right, what could it have been? Instead of being like ghost. And we had a lot of people with us, and one girl was like, oh my god, do you feel that cold breeze out of nowhere? And it's like, oh my god, do you see that open window? So like, when I hear a noise, I want to think about what it could be, not what you think it might be. But that's one thing that always got me about like ghost adventures, and I think I've talked about on streams before. Like, there was walking through a hall, and it's just like, did you hear that? If you listen closely, it said "kill Zach." It's like, no, it didn't though. But yeah, so if I say something is creepy, like unexplained, then believe it, because I've looked through every option. Like, I can't explain it. Yeah, I definitely don't jump at the first opportunity.
I just hate when they start like basically screaming to each other as soon as like, did you hear that? And it's like, well, now you've ruined any recording of like EMPs. I like EMPs. Behind EMPs, love EMP recordings. So they basically fucked up their EMPs when they just start screaming at each other. Dude, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Was that you? It's like learn some army signals.
I know. It's just sign language. You just learn it. Yeah, like that. I mean, I've heard some EMPs that are just like garbage, and then I've heard some that give me chills, and it's like, oh, it's like that's a little girl, and it's just a bunch of guys in a house. But I definitely want to get some equipment and start doing that. So.
Yeah, I have a equipment like video segments plan. Like I have a spirit box video. Like I have that written. I haven't sent it to you yet. Before we get a spirit box, I want to try. I'd like to try a spirit box just for the fun of it, and just to have like the tools at your disposal.
Do some tests.
Yeah, got an we actually got an EMF reader from Soggy Seal, my friend. We went up to his house 2 weeks ago, and that was really cool. And he took it apart. And yeah, he got it from work. And I put it on Patreon, man. There's a Patreon video that has actually shit. I put a different video. There's one of him taking it apart and explaining how it actually works, because he's a mechanic and they use them at work for other things. So we're going to have a video on that. The whole long edition is going to go on Patreon. I don't know how much of it is going to go in like other things. So it's going to go along with the biggest EMF thing we got was in Savannah, and we got a bunch of readings on that Jewish grave. So, but also Michael Scott was talking earlier about going to Bray Road in Wisconsin, hoping to see something, but that's super creepy. He goes to so many places. Like I'm really jealous. Like it is really cool. Like the Queen Mary videos. Really
yeah.
Cool.
See, Michael, I need you to fly to Virginia so we can investigate an asylum together.
Yeah. Slash, we really need to go to California.
Be careful investigating asylums.
Yeah.
Another story there. Went and investigated an abandoned asylum with these two guys once. 2 weeks later, one of them died. Mysterious, like crazy shit happened at the asylum.
Don't tell him that. Now he's never gonna go.
Like 22 years old, perfect health, no drugs. They did an autopsy.
Ethan, she's
no
lying.
reason
Don't
for him
to
have just like up and died in his sleep.
I mean, I'm fine. I mean, the only thing I've been really creeped out of is that graveyard experience. But
don't get inside of the only thing he did that the other two of us didn't do is he got inside of one of those morgue drawers.
Oh, fuck that.
What the fuck?
That's garbage.
Yeah.
That's where I draw the line.
So don't crawl inside of any morgue drawers because, I guess he went out doing la-di-da, but yeah, mysterious death like 2 weeks after we went.
Oh,
damn. You should do a video on that one for sure, Spooky. That's creepy.
Yeah.
Yes, Michael. St. Albans. You know of it? Yeah, I've been there, man. Come with us.
We can do it. We can rent out the whole place and do a big investigation of it.
That's my dream is to have
lots of other YouTubers that do it, like are in the not lots, but I know like 3 others are kind of in the area that we could get. Could be a giant collaboration.
He looks excited about it. That looks like a yes.
I think everyone needs to come. It should just be a big old event. But yeah, they do a thing where you can be in the asylum from like 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. and they give you like some equipment. Of course, you can bring your own, but they encourage filming.
Be a ghost battery.
Yeah, do it. We need people to attract the ghosts. But yeah, I would definitely ghost bait. Hashtag ghost bait. But yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. I really want to do that. Michael said, yes, I want to go. There's another channel that wants to go too. Let's plan it and split the cost. Fuck yeah. This was a productive stream.
Yeah, we're really cool. Let's definitely do that. Blake's been wanting to go for so long.
Every time I see Ethan, it's like, so we need to go to St. Albans Asylum because it's only like 2.5 hours away from us, and I've been there before. It's really creepy. It's really worth going. It's such a huge building that it like you could have 10 people in there, and they would probably randomly run into each other.
Yeah, and we want to do it with serious people. We don't want people freaking out, making it like she was saying, like yelling and saying there's ghosts when there's not. We want to take it serious. So again, really, if we get something, we know for sure it's something. So it's a lot of fun.
Let's get that going, Michael. Don't drop it. Let's do it. I'm so down. It's I think $500 for 10 people. So 10 people split it up. You're good. Let's
It's
do
$50
it.
a person then.
Let's do it.
Yeah, not 500 per person. So,
Yeah,
500 total.
Pink Spooky said, "Bring Goodnight Goosebumps." We've already yelled at him and told him to come.
Yeah,
and
because
he
he's
sounded
near us.
interested.
Yeah, because he's really close to us. He's the closest YouTuber that we know near us in our same genre. So
Yeah. So Spooky Whispering, I'm gonna need you to come too.
yeah, just
So-
make the trek.
It's only
So-
what, like fucking 20 hours?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Meh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
getting used to driving it because I still drive back to Alabama.
Dude, how long does that take you?
Depends on if I am pulling a U-Haul or not, but if I'm not, then it just takes like close to 24 hours, like one day.
Holy
It's like
shit.
16 hours, but then there's all the breaks
So
added
do you
in.
live on like the west side of Texas then?
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't live in any of the cool cities.
Okay.
I live out
So
in the
you
middle
really
of
are
the
near
desert.
Skinwalker territory. That is
I am.
creepy.
I am right near the border, so
Yeah.
I am next door to Skinwalker territory. Like, hey,
Yeah.
Skinwalkers, how you doing? Please don't come get me. I won't make eye contact with you, I promise.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wow,
Mi-
that's
Yeah,
crazy.
meow.
Michael said, "I won't forget. I'll DM tonight. And we can talk the dates." I'm so psyched. I'm so excited. Like, you guys have no idea. I didn't want to do
Twitter
this.
over and over.
Oh, speaking of this, Ethan,
What?
today is actually the 1-year anniversary of the day I went.
That's awesome, man. See, there you
Popped up
go.
on Facebook. It's meant to be. But yeah, it's cool, really cool stuff. Let us know. And White Owl said Waverly Hill Sanatorium. That is on Sanitarium. Sorry, that's on my list. It's definitely on my list. Maybe that'll be the next one, depending on how this goes. But I'm so psyched. But yeah, as far as driving, that sucks because we left from New Orleans to come back to where we live, and that was 12 hours, and then we got stuck on a bridge for 3.5 hours. So it sucks.
Cheers. And yeah, kind of near there, White Owl.
All right.
Oh man, I'm so excited.
So, all right, spooky. So, what inspired you to start your channel? Like, well, we already kind of answered it, but
And can you answer in ASMR?
yeah.
I'll do my British accent because it's much softer. During the Halloween months, ASMR artists will do all sorts of spooky themed things and tell scary stories very up close, and it's great to go to sleep to because one of my absolute favorite things is watching a scary movie before bed or listening to scary stories up close, kind of like when you were at a sleepover when you were young and telling stories to each other very closely in the night when it was quiet. And I loved those stories, and I absolutely ate it up. But afterwards, after October, everybody forgot about doing spooky things, and I listened to absolutely everything there was. And I thought, I want more. So I am being the change I want to see because I want more spooky ASMR, and there isn't enough. So that's why I'm making mine.
I completely agree. I think that we need more horror in general, and I can't believe that there's not enough. And when I was a kid, I used to get so upset that they'd only do horror movies in October, and I was like, why don't we have it all the time? And then I was like, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to start buying the movies. And then I did, and now I've got some problems in the head, and I also can't do it. I can't do a British accent. And I try.
It's not Australian.
I can't. I get them
Yeah,
confused.
it's a little New Zealand Australian.
I'm sorry. I've been talking to Lex.
I was about to say you
she's
talk
from
to
New
Lex
Zealand.
too much.
But I try. But I try, and I can't do it. And someone left a comment one time saying, "Man, this narrator would be a lot better if he had a British accent." So
I've been trying ever since.
I've been trying. There was one moment of just like superiority where I was on a group chat with two Brits, and I said something in my British accent, like I guess I was just off that day. And they were like thinking it was one of the others, like thinking it was actually one of the British people talking, and that was like, oh, my heart. But I can't do it. It just sounds Australian.
No,
I
you're
guess it's shape on the
Scottish.
body.
Your Scottish
I
accent.
get to be extremely posh,
Yeah.
like so posh that people this posh don't actually exist outside of the movies. That is what I've been told by British people. They're like, it's beautifully posh, but no one actually talks like that. We wish they did, but we
That's
all
so good,
sound
though.
like hicks.
That's really good. Like when I'm talking to British people, they're like, "Oh my god, can you fucking stop? You sound awful." What were you saying about the Irish, Ethan?
No, your Scottish accent in the Edinburgh video. No one said any bad comments about that ever. That's one of our biggest videos. No, and they literally made fun of how you said close in your American accent before they had your Scottish accent. They're like, he's saying it wrong. I'm like, that's how we pronounce it in our accent. We're not trying to make fun. We're not trying to say it in your accent. Like, come on.
They got mad at me for saying close instead of close. I mean, sorry, was it? It was supposed to be close, right?
Yeah, with an S, but the way we kind of say it kind of sounds like you say it with a Z, or at least that's what they thought. So.
But they didn't get mad at me for saying, "Oi, bloody Mackenzie."
Yeah, they didn't.
Lift the snake and draw the bar.
Yeah.
So
See, you remember it. Yeah.
I had to say it so many times. It was like, "Oi, bloody Mackenzie."
Man, you sound good though.
It's the beer.
All right.
All these accents, man. That's great.
All right, spooky. So you talked about this like in the comments last time. So how did the stomach growling video come about? And how did it take off? Like, did you promote it in your like what happened? What's the story behind that?
Okay, so I'm on another Discord that was a bunch of ASMR artists, you know, a place where we kind of congregate and talk about stuff that happens. Quietly. Well, yeah, we had a separate room for that. Like, if you wanted to do ASMR. No cap locks.
Yeah.
But we were talking one night. It was a bunch of like really well-known bigger artists, you know, people like Maddie Tingles and Articulate Design and a couple of those there. And they were talking about analytics. And I was like, what's analytics? And I opened it up on my YouTube because, you know, I was a complete baby. And I'm like, oh, what's this? And they're like, you can actually see how people have searched and found you by doing to the search analytics. So I popped open my search analytics and we were talking about the crazy stuff we were finding in there. And like number 3 on my search analytics was stomach growling, because during one of my videos, I accidentally had a stomach growl, and due to my noobness, I didn't catch it in editing. So it made it through to the final cut. And I was like, oops. So I just tagged it and made a joke about it in my description. And apparently, like, a ton of my traffic was coming because of that growling by accident. So I was like, we were joking about it that night, you know, drinking a little. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm just going to, because I had really bad stomach problems at the time. I'm a lot better now. Like, it was stress-induced IBS. And I was in complete denial about all the stress. And I finally got those stressful elements out of my life. And I'm way better now. But I had stomach problems pretty much 24/7, all day, every day. Because people thought that I had made myself hungry for this video. That is literally the noises my stomach made all the time. I was lucky to get a video that didn't have stomach growling in it. So I just stuck the microphone right above my stomach and laid on my back for like 30 minutes and recorded my stomach. And it sounds like there are demons in my bowels. And there's actually a ghost laugh that's caught in that. I've got it time stamped in the description. I am completely alone at my house. My doorways are that house was over 60 or 70 something. No, it was over 75 years old because it had its birthday the second year that I lived in it. It was over 75 years old. So the doors were loud as fuck. So nobody entered my room. Nobody exited my room. It is an uncut, unedited recording. And there is like this male laughter, like, just in the video after a couple of minutes. So, you know, talk about shit happening all the time right here. Like, I can't even make a video of my stomach growling. But yeah, like, just goofing around with other ASMR artists, and it is my biggest hit.
So
it is
that I spent so much time making a Pokemon intro with this channel Pomeranian in it, and it got a couple views, and then I could have just been putting the microphone to my stomach and just
and tag that, and they will come. If you build it, they will come.
It's just a niche market. Sorry, falling behind again. Pink Spooky said, I'll come to the asylum. I'll be the Canadian ghost bait. You definitely should. That is a giant trip, but you definitely should. It'd be a lot of fun. Oh, God. I'm struggling so bad. Ghostwatch said, glad I was able to catch a stream. Unfortunately, I got to go. Great stuff, everyone. Thanks for coming, Ghostwatch. I appreciate it. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Also, I think I mentioned it before, but like Rebecca, Ethan's wife, is super into ASMR. So I was telling her about your channel earlier, and I don't think she's checked it out because she's struggling with work. But she should definitely check it out. Because when we were on the trip to New Orleans, like I'd be trying to sleep, and I would just hear random sounds. I was like, "What is that?" And it sounded like someone was like crumpling paper. And I was like, what is going on? And I look over, Rebecca's screen is on, and she's passed the fuck out. I was like, oh, ASMR.
Yep.
Oh, here's the top 3 searches for Stage Stranger side channel, because I forgot I was on this one. I was trying to see what they are. Number 1 is actually Stage Strange. Number 2, Blake, is Cuphead. And number 3 is live 2 lives. Live with subscribers.
That's live with subscribers.
Yeah,
that was a tag I didn't think would work.
But start using it more often. It obviously works.
Now I'm interested to see what it is with the Strangest. Give me a second to see what that is.
Speaking of which, I'm going to do a stream after this if you guys want to watch it, because I saw
more Cuphead.
More Cuphead. I want to finish fucking Cuphead because I'm so close.
How are you not done with that game, man?
Because I take week breaks. And then I get frustrated. Like I did one last week at like 1 a.m. and no one watched it. It was just like me struggling. But I'm gonna do one tonight after the stream. So could be good. Speaking of which, I gotta go get another beer. I'll be right back.
All right, I'll ask another question. Let me get back to it because I was checking our analytics because I had never really checked our searches. I look at our analytics a lot, but never thought about the search terms, which is I can't believe I never thought of that.
Yeah, how do people find you?
Yeah, that's a very
interesting thing.
Yeah, our Edinburgh video has been really lucky to line up really good with searches and the like algorithm. And our Polly's Island video is looking like that too. Oh, Pink's getting off. Good night to Pink. Thank you for watching. Pink. All right, here's another question. All right. The stomach growling one. I still couldn't believe that was your biggest one. Like I checked that during the stream last week because I was like, wow.
Yeah, 40K.
Yeah, that's awesome though. So, all right. What's your favorite part about making videos?
Definitely the creative aspect of it. Like my Ghost Lights ones, I decided to do green screen of a sort of road that resembled the road.
Yeah, I saw your green screen on your Twitter. I was like, what did you use that for? I didn't know if you like streamed or if you just used it for videos or like how much do you use it?
Pretty much just for videos. I only got it once I moved. Oh, I'm referencing it to it, but I forgot I took it down because the cat loves to climb it. And since she had her surgery, that would be like too much climbing for her. So I took it down temporarily. Normally it would be right behind me right now, you know, in front of my American flag I have up there.
It's a pretty badass American flag there. So
yeah, it's from the oil field. It was all torn up. So, you know, this amazing interior decorating design stuff. Yeah. But the creative element, like with my cryptid one, I decided to draw it out and do a time lapse. And what am I going to do for each one? How am I going to do the filming? You know, it's really just a creative outlet for me. I have absolutely nothing against channels that monetize. So I swear, I'm putting this disclaimer out. But for me personally, I'm never going to monetize my channel. Like, even if I meet the requirements, which I think I do, I I don't want to because it's for me doing a creative outlet. I'm trying not to care too much if people like it. I get a little bit miffed, like people calling my cryptid story fake. I'm like, that scarred me, and you're calling it fake.
People called it fake. I didn't even read the comments. I listened to it in the car, so on a drive, and that's why I was like really into it. That's why I was like, holy shit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it really makes you like feel like you're right there with you. So.
Like you're gonna look over from your car.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I was on a country road too, so I was like, "Fuck
great.
This." Yeah. Yeah. Because
maybe I cared a little bit too much about that one.
Yeah.
So that's like one reason I'm never going to monetize, because I do it because it's fun. It's fun to create. It's fun to, I often go around like, what would that sound like? Like one of the things that's like, I love this sound.
Oh yeah.
I love that
perfect.
sound. Yeah. And it's like, so I'm constantly going around. I love that sound. I love that sound. And so with ASMR, you can play with all of that. And it's really, really, really fun.
Yeah.
Especially when it'd be like, I am your evil scientist. Because I like to put my spooky spin on things, which I'm going to be doing one soon that's like a nurse. Like you've signed up for a, to be part of a medical experiment, sort of horror story one.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm working on.
That's really cool.
See, and then you can use like, oh, I have to get this Patron as a prop. So
I have to finish it so I can use it.
Yeah, exactly. So
I've used one just like this before in a Harry Potter collab that I did with ASMR Weekly, and it was like my potion.
Yeah. That's I saw that video, but I didn't get a chance to watch it because that looked really cool. So we did we went to a Harry Potter festival, and me and my wife Rebecca, and that was really cool. Yeah, they like transformed this.
What house are you?
Oh, I'm Hufflepuff. So
what are you?
Very average.
I'm Slytherin.
I'm Gryffindor. We have most of the house. Is your wife?
I can't even remember what she said. I'm a bad husband. I think Slytherin. I don't know. I know our dog Sassy is Slytherin. So
you can house your dogs.
I mean, that's the thing. We did. They did a whole. They did a sorting of it. I think the thumbnail for that video is Sassy getting sorted into Slytherin. Hold on.
That is
I don't
awesome.
know for sure. I was actually looking at our analytics to see what our top searches are on the Strangest. Our top ones are Edinburgh, which is like I figured since that's where we're getting our most like organic searches right now. Then the Strangest, and then actually UFO. So.
More UFO stories.
Yeah, and Polly's Island. I knew Polly's Island is already number 4. Actually, this is actually within the past month. Let me try to stretch it out for the lifetime to see what it is.
Rebecca said I'm a Hufflepuff, and I'm a little offended, and I'm going to need you to take it back. I haven't been officially sorted. I've taken a lot of quizzes.
You have to go to Pottermore and get officially sorted, sir. Because seeing as you do a lot of the hard work, you might be a Hufflepuff.
I don't want to be a Hufflepuff. I want to.
Hufflepuffs are great. Don't you talk bad about them.
See, like I think on my list, it's like Slytherin, man, not Gryffindor.
I don't like people that are like, I'm a Slithergriff. It's like, no. The house.
That's not how it works.
In one of the houses, you may overlap, but that means you get to decide because the hat lets you decide if it comes down to being that close.
I'm a Slither Crawfordor. I don't know. I like Slytherin.
Our search analytics are actually how I expected it for the lifetime. Like it is like Edinburgh, Strangest, or haunted universities, unsolved crimes, stuff like that. So that's really good that we line up the way I expected. So that's good that we're doing something right. So.
Have y'all come across in your UFO searches, since UFO is one of your big ones, have you come across that people sometimes in the implanted memories, you know what those are?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That they have large cartoon animals, often deer and owl, like cartoonish, like they can tell it's not real. And that's kind of the indicator of implanted memory, but like large cartoonish faced owls and deers as their replacement memory. Have you ever come across that in your stories before?
Yeah, see, like I really don't. I try to do story. Like I read a lot about UFO and alien stuff because that's like the first thing that really got me into paranormal stuff was a book I found in elementary school at the library, and I really don't
Oh,
like places where they do that, like go in and try to like extract their memories, go to like the psycho, like get hypnotized to get the memories back because I think it's so subjective and you don't know, and people already misremember stuff to begin with. So I try to do stuff that doesn't
mm.
really rely on it because I don't 100% believe it. So I try to do like incidences like the last one on the last stream, like after the UFO. Like I was so interested in that because it was policemen. They put it in their official report. They actually talked about how they didn't want to come off as crazy, and like other policemen had been fired for similar incidences. And our collaboration with Michael Scott was a UFO one, and that was this guy who swore by it to his death, and he even bought a camera back when cameras were expensive as fuck to keep with him because he's like, if I see this again, I'm taking pictures because people don't believe this, and it like scarred me for life, kind of like your incident. So he actually like took offense to it and said,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm here for
It kind of gets
money.
offensive when it's like it literally terrifies, and you're like, I wouldn't be just saying this for my own health.
Yeah, there seems a lot of people who do like the memory recovery stuff or like say they have memories. A lot of them end up having like book deals or they're on TV and stuff like that. So they seem like they're in it for the money. So,
but maybe
like you need to get
because
abducted by aliens.
I'm trying.
Because it rings true with other abductees.
Yeah.
I know a guy who he literally has panic attacks due to cartoon owls and deer because it's that traumatic for him.
Really?
To think of them. Yeah, he swears that he's been abducted several times in his life, and that was his replacement memory. And it wasn't until he started getting older and on the internet and started hearing of other people's replacement memories that he's like, fuck, that's what happened to me. That's why I'm so terrified when I see these. You know? So it just made me wonder if you've come across that before too, because it's like, why the same images? Why the same images to replace them sometimes?
Yeah, I've seen the movies where they characterize owls and stuff as being
big eyes, maybe.
Yeah, it's something about the eyes.
And I mean, you like the movie The Fourth Kind, like the owls, the owls in it. So I mean, people try to discredit some UFO sightings in the Mothman as owls and cranes and people misidentifying stuff. But the problem is, like, a lot of that stuff happens in rural areas. Like, the Chicago Mothman that just recently happened, I could see that being more discredited as wildlife because those are people in the city and they don't deal with it. But, like, people that are out in the county all the time, they're, like, out in the middle of nowhere. They choose to live there. They experience strange stuff that I'd be like, no, fuck that. I'm, like, going inside. So, like, they're seeing stuff that they're, like, really freaked out about enough to where they're going to tell people even though they sound crazy. So, I don't know. I don't really buy the owl things completely. So, in fact, one of the scariest things that happened with an owl that I have a story of is, like, Rebecca, my wife, is driving one night. We're, like, coming back from Richmond. And, like, all of a sudden, this owl just drops out of the sky and hits her windshield, like, upside down and dunks, like, so hard. It doesn't break the windshield, luckily. But it just, like, died out of the sky. Like, it was terrifying. Like, it was, like, straight, like, just, like, Hedwig had gotten hit with the, like, Avada Kedavra, just dropped out of the sky.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, no!
Yeah, so so and it was creepy. So
that's so sad. Like, I've never seen an owl in real life. Like, I mean, I've seen an owl in real life, but like not in the wild. Like, I'd be so.
Blake goes to zoos so much. She's like, yeah, I've seen owl.
I've seen owl. Well, that's like skunks with me. Like, ugh, I've had a bad experience.
Oh no.
Yeah, see, like, I always, like, driving around where we live, I'd always see skunks, in the road run over. And I was like, man, why do I never see live skunks? It's like, that's such a weird thing. Like, I only see them run over. And one day I was heading back from work on a back road and I saw a skunk, like, on the side of the road. And I was like living. I was like, oh my God, it's a living skunk. And he ran out in the road and I ran him over. And I was like, this is why I'm part of the problem.
Skunk killer, man.
Oh, my car stunk for so long. Like just the instant that I hit him, it was able to spray my car enough to smell for weeks. Not weeks, a week. But it was bad. Off topic, sorry. I've been missing the chat again.
I know, like White House Ravenclaw, Rebecca's Slytherin.
So she's going to say, I'm a Hufflepuff, but she's a Slytherin. I'm a Slytherin. I'm going to take the Pottermore test after this.
And see, if you had feelings that strong about it, the hat would take it into consideration.
You should stream it and make it a Stay Strange video, man. You should screen cap
That
it.
would be easy, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Erica wants to live closer and go ghost hunting with everybody.
Yeah, definitely, Erica. That'd be a lot of fun. I know it sucks, living so far away, this world.
And I agree, owls do have beautiful eyes. I like how it seems like they have that flat disc that sort of just levitates in their eye if you've ever gotten to look at them really close up.
Yeah.
We have Kellist, another Hufflepuff. Hufflepuffs are great. They get shit on, but Hufflepuffs are great. We should turn this into the Harry Potter stream.
Yeah.
What was
I'm a huge Potter dork.
No, I like Harry Potter a lot. Like I'm not, into the whole, I guess,
reading the books and going to the
do trivia with me. Trivia with me.
You want to do trivia? No, that's probably not a good idea. I've only seen the movies. Like I read the books until I got to the Goblet of Fire, and then by that time the movies were coming out quicker than I was reading them. And I was like, whatever, I'll just watch the movie.
Yeah, but that's also when the movies start like declining quality compared to the books. So where they cut like so much out of it.
I know they had to have cut so much out because I remember the first 3 books. I was like, oh, they missed so much. It's like the first book, it really triggered me. I was like, they missed one of the trials at the end. It's like, they didn't even go over it. So I know the last one's did. But like I'm really guilty of like Wikipediaing stuff. So like I have even if I watch the movie, I'll research it afterwards. So I know a little bit. I can't tell you which, random Hufflepuffs were in the movie, but I can tell you some things. Enough to where I have the Deathly Hallows on the back of my car instead of the Strangest. I need to fix that. I have the Deathly Hallows and the Triforce. It's like my loves.
But you haven't read the books. You have to go and read the books. You missed Spew.
Yeah.
You missed all of Spew.
I don't know what Spew is.
See, exactly. There's so much missing. But we do have to blame Harry Potter for the current trend of splitting movies up. Splitting up what should be one movie into multiple movies.
Yeah.
Unless you're Peter Jackson, I don't want to see you doing that shit.
Yeah.
In the first movie, it was not the first. Oh, I guess all the movies. But what was his name? The name of the ghost that was like always causing trouble.
Peeves?
Peeves. Yeah. I was like, "Where's Peeves?" And
Ghosts only got in the first movie. They just like fucking.
And he's actually involved all throughout and mentioned in pretty much every book.
Yeah.
Peeves gets involved in the Battle of Hogwarts.
I do remember hearing that, but no Peeves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Candace agrees with me that you need to read them and be part of Spew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested in Spew. I don't know how I've missed Spew.
Yeah, it's a complete story arc that you've completely missed by not reading the books because they leave it out of the movies 100%. And you'll love Creature so much more. Creature!
Oh, Creature, what was that? I remember this.
Are you kidding?
He's the Black house elf. The House of Black.
Oh, okay. That's in the last
Creature.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Like, so you're like, I don't remember Black House Elf. Where was that?
I have the entire series on Blu-ray, but I loaned it to somebody and I hadn't gotten it back, so I hadn't gotten to check it.
You can check it out on audible.com.
Actually,
sponsored.
Yeah, I actually plan on one day listening to all the audiobooks. They're like the top, almost some of the top rated books on Audible. So I kind of want to listen to it /and/or read it to my kids one day. So.
See, I have a really bad ADD problem. So when I'm reading, it's like I'll read a whole page and then I won't get it, and I'll have to read it again because I'm reading the words, but I'm not actually listening.
That's why Audible is for you. Audible.com/insert your favorite YouTuber. That's not
coupon code The Strangest.
Yeah. By the way, you guys heard of Movie Pass?
You've been selling the shit out of Movie Pass, and we don't get no money.
I know.
I won a giveaway at my local theater. It's the first one in my life I have ever won. I never win shit. Let me tell you.
What was it?
It's movie tickets, Adrift, that's coming out soon. Movie tickets and like the book that it's based on, and something else I can't remember. I never win anything. I have never in my entire life. I enter raffles and stuff all the time to support people. I have never won jack shit in my entire life. So it's my first giveaway I have ever won. So I'm like,
what did you have to do to do it? Like, did you just enter your name?
Like, it's one of those the really cool ones they have online now. That there's ways you can get multiple. Like, follow us on Facebook to get 2 entries. Follow us on Twitter to get 4 more entries. Visit us on Facebook for 1 entry. You know, I forget the companies that do that now, but you've seen them, right? If you do a giveaway, totally use one of those companies. It's neat. You can get a lot of people to sign up on every single one of your social medias.
Yeah.
Really cool. So I just did that on the ones that I felt comfortable doing it, and I won.
That's really cool.
I'm not even really interested in the movie, but I guess I'll go see it now since I watch lots of movies all the time every week.
That's awesome. Yeah. I never win luck-based competitions. It's like
I don't either.
I've gained so many emails from giving out my email address, but I
have a junk email just for that.
What if the winning email went to your junk email, man?
Honestly, it could have, because I never check my emails. So maybe I've won every one, and I just don't check it.
Here's an Ethan cringeworthy horror story from my college years. So in college, I was dating this girl, and she entered me into what do you call it? One of those giveaway things with the bookstore, and I won a $500 gift card. But she guilt tripped me into it since she's the one who entered me into it. She's like, "Oh, you should spend it on me." And I bought her an iPad at the bookstore. Then we broke up like 3 months later. Yeah, that sucked. That was definitely a thing I shouldn't have done. But you live and you learn. But I mean, I wouldn't have won it because I never entered myself into stuff because I'm very unlucky too. So that's whatever.
I'm here to tell y'all. Never give up.
You got to keep on trying.
And one day you'll win movie tickets to a movie you're not even really interested in seeing.
I mean, that's still something.
Yeah,
but if you had Movie Pass, you could see all the movies you're interested in seeing.
I know, but I would have to like cheat on my favorite movie theater.
Yeah.
Which makes me mad. I will start petitioning my movie theater to join Movie Pass. That's what I'll do.
Oh man, White Owl said she's never seen the movie Holes. Holy shit. If I had a movie that I've seen the most, it is actually Holes. Like somewhere between 7th and 8th grade year, for some reason I was really into Holes. Like I watched the movie, read the book, but then I got the DVD and I just watched the movie like almost every night to fall asleep. I knew like everything about it. I didn't even like Even Stevens, so I just liked the fucking movie Holes. Like it was one day, like I mentioned in another stream where my family would just drop me off at the movie theater to watch movies to get me out of their hair. I just saw Holes. I was like, holy shit, this is so cool. Yeah, and I was a Holes fan for life.
Most teenage boys are super into Holes. Like I don't know what it's about, but they're just all about Holes.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, I've seen it. Have y'all, speaking of which, I was thinking about this the other day. Have y'all listened to the song Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah. Oh, yes, I love it. I love it. I love the music video. It's great. I love all of that.
Anyone in the chat, if you guys haven't watched, if you haven't listened to / watched Shia LaBeouf, go fucking watch it. It's so good. Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf. Shia surprise. That's the kind of content I want to make one day. It's just like
that is great.
Oh, it's great. It's such good stuff. Oh man, I had something in my head I was going to talk about. I lost it.
Oh no.
Rebecca said that I even liked the soundtrack to Holes. So definitely, I even bought the soundtrack, listened to it. It was in my car. It was bad. I don't even know where it is now, but
I really liked Shia LaBeouf back then. I liked Even Stevens. Like that was one of my favorite shows back then. But
I like him now because he doesn't give a fuck. He's just himself and he's crazy and he'd be a fun time to party with. So,
I guarantee he would. He'd also
probably wind up in the desert with Shia LaBeouf and some Wendigos, cactus. That'd be a fun time. You never know.
I've just seen so many videos of people like filming Shia LaBeouf. Like one guy was in his car and he pulled up and Shia LaBeouf's just next to him in the car. And he's just at him.
I actually met a guy on a cruise ship that met him at, he's from Georgia, and he met him because he was filming stuff in Atlanta, and he was actually working out at his gym, and he came up and he just talked to him about gym stuff. So that's a pretty cool story.
I think White Owl's been drinking. He can't spell Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Shithy. Yeah, just search Shia LaBeouf music.
You won't be disappointed.
It's good stuff.
They want you to just do it video because that gets me motivated in the mornings.
Do it.
Do it. Yeah. I'm like, if Shia LaBeouf can do it, I can do it.
Do it. No, don't do crack.
Disclaimer. Don't do crack.
All right. Spooky, what is the strangest comment you've received on a video? Do you know of?
I know. I more of remember my friend, my redheaded friend, her weirdest comment that springs to my mind first. My weirdest comment. I think it was something like, "You should do that with socks on your hands."
Whoa.
What?
That's kinky.
What?
What do I do with my hands?
Socks on my hands?
What are you, a house elf? I don't have socks on my hands.
Yeah, we're back to the house stuff now.
Yeah.
Socks on my head? Okay. What?
Your tapping's too loud. Can you please wear socks on your hands?
Oh, yeah, that's what
I think it was
really
when I was doing
quiet.
zippers. I think it was for my leather hugs when I was doing zippers and making the leather squeak on my biker jacket.
People are weird.
Yeah.
It
Scott's
just reminds me of It's Always Sunny. It's like, is your cat too loud? Kitten mittens.
Oh, I love that meme about have you seen the little dangle cover that goes around your cat's tail and that has a jewel disc that covers your cat's butthole? And it's like, for the low price of $5.99, you can explain to concerned strangers that no, your cat does not have a butt plug.
Makes it worth it.
It was, like, that's one of my favorite memes. I'm totally getting distracted now because I'm drinking.
That's fine. White Owl said, I can't spell, and I have been drinking a lot. It's okay, White Owl. We're all drinking. It's a good time.
It's a good time. I have my next shot ready here.
Do it. Do it. On stream. Do it.
She's doing them all on stream, man. Blake's not even paying attention.
Guys, I've been drinking too. I'm distracted. Hey, Scott. How's it going, Scott?
Yeah, give me a second. I need to refill my drink. Hold on.
Oh, shit, Ethan.
Hello, Scott.
Yeah.
Yes, you need to refill your drink. What are you drinking?
Ethan or me?
Ethan, because I know you're drinking Bud Light. I saw the bottle.
Oh, watching me. Ethan is probably drinking. What is he drinking? He's probably. Let me guess. It's probably just whiskey and ginger ale. That would be my guess.
Is that a good combo? I have never tried whiskey and ginger ale.
I think it's like Evan. He likes Evan Williams and ginger ale, but yeah, like I've had it a couple times. It's pretty good. It's not bad. Like that's the thing. Like I have an entire bar, like literally an entire stocked bar, but it takes so long for me to make drinks that I just drink beer. It's like if I was to make drinks, I'd be gone so long.
I think I've talked to y'all about it before. Like either I'm hard liquor or I need a beer that is at least 15% alcohol by volume.
Oh God, yeah, this is too weak. The only thing is, like, I usually drink normal Budweiser, but it gives me a headache, and scientifically proven. But yeah, like I struggle with beer. Like I need so much of it, but it's okay. I remember back when beer was a punishment. Like I didn't like drinking it. Luckily, it gives me better taste.
Yeah, my cousin. Oh, let me ask if they did you have a family member that when you were too young to drink tried to get you so drunk and sick on purpose to teach you the lesson to never drink again? Did you have that family member?
I didn't have that family member. I always wanted that family member, but it never happened.
I had that family member.
Anti-drinking.
She made me drink 3 beers, 1 cold, 2 lukewarm in the car, and she told me if I did not drink them, she'd make me get out and walk home.
Wow, that's garbage. Like
after the 3 beers, Goldschlager.
Oh, I was just talking about that earlier.
As my very first after beer. Beer than liquor, never been sicker.
Yeah, so 2 stories. One, my first beer was a warm Blue Moon out of a can. Almost threw up. And then Goldslager. I may have told the story before, but there was I was at a party and I had Goldslager because like I just turned 21 and I'd go to the store and I was like one of my only friends with a job. I'd get the fancy looking alcohol and be like, oh, look at me, guys, I'm fancy. And I was like, oh, what's this stuff? It's got gold flakes in it. Let me get Goldslager. And I came into a party, and there was a girl I was really interested in. I was like, oh, is she cute? And my friend was like, oh, she really likes Goldslager. I was like, okay, I'm going to show off. So I started hanging around with her. And,
the power of boners.
Exactly. And we started playing drinking games, and we played a game called Kings, which I don't know if you ever played. But it's a card game. And anyway, one of the cards is Waterfall. So you start drinking and you're in a circle. The person beside you can't stop drinking until you stop drinking. So I have the bottle of Goldslager and I just put it back and I'm gulp. I drink like probably 3/4 of the bottle. And but I'm trying to impress this girl, whatever. So it keeps on going and it all hits me at once. And I go outside. I'm like, I'm going to puke. Don't puke, Blake. Don't puke. And I bring myself together. I'm like, all right, as long as I don't drink anything else, I'll be fine. So I walk back in, and my friend's like, hey, man, let's do shots of Jack Daniels. And in my mind, I'm just like, Blake, don't do it. You're going to get sick. Don't do it. So I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And I started just like afterwards, I ended up going outside, projectile vomiting, and then came back inside and was on the couch. And the girl I was trying to impress ended up having to hold my puke bag. And
but that means she actually kind of liked you to hold your puke bag for you. That's sweet.
We ended up actually having a long friendship / semi relationship after that. So it ended up working. Aww. But to this day, I can't drink cinnamon vodka. Like Fireball, Goldslager. I have it, but I can't drink it. Hey, Autumn. How's it going? Thanks for coming by. Rebecca said, I never had a parent or anyone try to get me drunk. That's good. But my dad is an alcoholic and wouldn't want to share. Yeah. My parents were just anti-drinking. My older sisters are into it, but they never shared with me.
Yeah, Rebecca's dad always tries to get me fucked up, so I don't know why how that's not a thing for her. He's always like, we're drinking Long Islands, we're 2 Long Islands starting off for each of us. It's rough.
Yeah, I need to start making Long Islands.
Yeah.
Autumn said, how are y'all? I'm doing fine. I can't speak for everyone else. Hopefully everyone's doing fine, but doing good. Hopefully you're doing well. Doodle said lemon drops. That's the second time someone's mentioned that to me today. I've never had a lemon drop.
They do them at Long River, or at least they used to.
I'm gonna have to try those.
Yeah,
that sounds good. I like lemon.
Yeah, I'll try.
Wow, I'm such a slacker. I thought before we got started on the stream that I was gonna slice up some limes to do with my tequila, and I bought limes, and I did not slice up limes for. Oh well.
Yeah, that's limes for tomorrow.
Limes for tomorrow.
There you go.
It does help. I started doing that recently. Like someone I was hanging out with, they were like, "Oh, if we're gonna drink tequila, we gotta get limes." I was like, "Okay." So we did the whole shebang. The salt on your hand, the lime.
Yeah, it makes you feel like a ritual.
Yeah, it's great. It's a good way to get drunk. Doodle said, lemon drops. Threw up all night. You sold me. You sold me on lemon drops.
Yeah, I'm drinking the tequila straight, but then I have this as my chaser, which is like a tonic cleanse. So I'm like drinking something incredibly unhealthy. Oh, I just splashed that all over myself.
Drink it. Drink it.
Oh.
I'm an enabler.
Like,
I'm really bad. Like, I get people drunk. It's like, drink it.
Ginger, pineapple juice, orange juice, cucumber water, lime, and coconut water.
Oh, that's fancy.
Yeah, it's a pineapple tonic. It's supposed to be really good for you. So I'm drinking something really bad for you and something really good for you at the same time, hoping they'll counteract each other.
Really, tequila's bad for you? I thought agave has natural healing properties in it.
That's what I was told.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I've got it all over my hand now. Because when I picked it up, I sloshed it around and down my leg.
Oh, that's awful.
All right.
Bye, Scott. Thanks for coming by. We love you too.
Bye, Scott. And I saw at one point he said, "Hey, Texas," and I was, "Texas says hey."
Yeah. Autumn's alter ego is Texas.
Oh, that's nice to know.
Yeah.
So you like baking alive? Is that what I'm getting here?
So yeah, you said you're from Texas too, right?
Yeah, I moved to Texas last year.
Yeah, so you got 2 Texans hanging out. That's good.
So how did you end up in Texas from Alabama? Is Alabama where you're originally from, or?
Yes, Alabama, born and raised, North Alabama my whole life. But I met a guy on the internet.
Ooh.
And so I moved to Texas for him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So it got pretty serious.
Yeah, going
That's
pretty
really
serious.
Cool. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, it's super sweet.
Yeah, like half a city, and I thought that was a big jump for a girl. You moved to a
1,000 miles, literally, perfectly.
So was it a big shock? Like, what was that?
It feels like a convection oven.
Yeah.
Like the heat and the air, like the heat bakes up from below you in waves. Because I'm used to, North Alabama is listed as a deciduous zone and subtropic zone. So it is a subtropic swamp.
Yeah.
It basically feels like hot soup outside with tons of humidity. But Texas is dry heat. Like, it's probably not as bad as Phoenix, Arizona, which is a blasphemy to man against God. But Texas is still pretty bad. Last week we had like 115 degrees.
Damn, it's only June.
We've only been hitting 80s, and it's been getting pretty hot.
It's in the middle of July.
It's over 100 every single day this week. But not 115. A little bit less than that. But
does it get cold at night then? Like, what's it like at night?
Because it's desert, it loses all the heat. But it's kind of nice at night right now because it reminds me of Florida. The wind picks up at night. I don't know why yet. I'll learn why. But the wind picks up and it's really, really warm. So I like it at night. So I like go to the gym or go on walks at like midnight or 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Which, just expect a creepy story from that sometime soon, because I know that's not a good idea.
Yeah, but it's so peaceful at night sometimes. So,
yes, it's kind of nice and quiet.
Till you have that weird stuff happen, strange things.
Till the weird stuff happens. And there's also always a million guys with big, loud trucks. And it's like, yeah, I know you have small equipment in your pants. Good to know.
So true. Our state is like that too. Like, we have just a bunch of people with their jacked up trucks. It's like, oh, bless your heart.
Oh, I get so angry when my parking spaces are taken in the parking lot by these guys with these jacked up trucks. I want to sneak out at 2 a.m. and press the little thing and let the air out of their tires, because it just makes me angry.
Oh, God.
And I'm a little bit of an anarchist, you know.
Do they fly flags in the back of their trucks, or is that just like a Southern Virginia thing?
Alabama does that though. Okay. That's not just a Southern Virginia thing. See, I am so far out in West Texas, it's not the South.
Really?
I know they say that Texas is part of the South.
Yeah.
No, it's Wild Wild West. That's the difference. Texas is Wild Wild West. It's not really the South. It's different. Oh, their barbecue here sucks. They talk a big game. Let me tell you, that's
you just
BS.
hurt his feelings. He's like, oh man.
I love trying barbecue in different places.
They do mesquite barbecue here because mesquite is everywhere, and they literally have to fly in hickory chips. If they're gonna do hickory, they have to buy it separately. And mesquite's everywhere. And so I finally figured out, my nephew actually figured that out for me. Like in 3 seconds, he solved the mystery of why I don't like Texas barbecue. Because it's a mesquite barbecue. And I'm used to hickory barbecue from the real South.
The real
Heart of Dixie.
Yeah.
Well, that's the weird thing. Like, we're from Virginia, and you know, we've gone to Florida and places like that, but Virginia seems more Southern than any of these places. Because like, we've just, I don't know. It's like you go to Florida and you think that would be the South, but they're
no, Florida's different. They're their own thing.
Yeah, they're exactly. Like I would say Alabama's the South. Louisiana was definitely the South, but like
I'm gonna
Georgia,
Louisiana. Some
Mississippi.
places in Louisiana didn't have sweet tea, man.
Oh, Louisiana is Creole.
Yeah.
Mm.
They got their own special thing going on, which is wonderful.
Oh yeah, like that was the main reason I was looking forward to going to Louisiana. It's just the food, and it was an experience. It was really good though. I enjoyed it. Yeah, we were only like 4 hours away from Texas. They said we should come to Texas.
Yeah, but then we were probably like another 8 hours away from where Spooky is, because Texas is giant. I've only like flown into Texas and been there like briefly. I've never actually experienced it, but I have 2 friends that live there, and they always talk about how giant. Yeah,
it's a day to drive across Texas by itself.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I've got a family.
With a U-Haul, I had to stop at the border. Like I drove from Alabama to Texarkana and had to stay the night with my U-Haul, and then drove the rest the next day, and still arrived here at like 3 a.m.
Wow.
It's like, ooh. But if you ever go to Texas, the best place I'd recommend is San Antonio.
I was about to say my family lives
because
in San Antonio.
It is haunted as fuck.
Because the Alamo, or
the Alamo, all the hotels are haunted.
Yeah.
If a hotel is more than 20 years old, someone has died in it.
Yeah.
We got to go there.
Any hotel that is more than 20 years old. But there is a hotel there that used to be the old county jail. It's the one I stayed in when I went to San Antonio. It used to be the place of the very last public hanging execution of Texas. They did executions indoors from the 3rd story, and the gallery would be down in the 1st story. The last hanging went horribly wrong. They misjudged the looseness, the slackness on his thing. It tore his jugular open and sprayed the entire audience with blood. And there's documentaries, like if you lift up the ceiling panels, you can look on the inside, and there's still the old prison walls where they've written and stuff. The hotel rooms are called cells instead of rooms. Like I was in cell 305 or 405. It's really great. It's along the ghost tour, but it's the old, I forget how they say it, Bexar, even though it's spelt like bear wrong. Like if you spelt the word bear wrong, Bear, but it's Frenchy because it was part of the Louisiana Purchase. So it's Bexar or something is how they actually say it. Big question marks here. Question marks. I'm not from Texas. But it's the old county jail. And it is an awesome place to stay. It's only like $60 per night. You can walk to the river, the downtown river area. If you ever go to San Antonio, I would suggest that place. Yes. Stay on the 3rd floor if you want to do like ghost sightings, because the 3rd floor is where they did the hangings from.
Well, Ethan, I think we've got our next trip planned out. But I have.
If you come to San Antonio, I will come meet you.
Awesome. Yeah, like I definitely want to go. I want to go to the Alamo and all that stuff, and just there's so much to do.
Autumn Adele, because she's probably an actual Texan. Yes, it's pronounced bear, but spelt Bexar. There we go. See, I'm too drunk to remember which way it goes.
Speaking
Thank
of, I get
you,
another
comic
beer.
section.
Hold the stream 1 sec. I'll be back.
We'll hold the stream.
Okay.
I'm holding it.
All right, Spooky. Do any of your real life friends or family know you make videos and support you? Like, how does that feel? Because that's always kind of awkward. So.
My mom asked me, so what are you up to lately?
Yeah.
I cannot lie to my mom.
What, were you like, I'm making videos for strangers on the internet? And she's like, oh God, what kind of videos are you making? What are you doing in Texas? Oh my God.
It was before I moved, but yes.
Okay.
That's exactly. I was like, I'm making videos on YouTube for strangers. And she wanted to see them. And so that's why every once in a while on your channel, you will see me do something cutesy. Because her personal request was, why don't you do something a little positive every once in a while?
Yeah.
So when you see a cutesy video on my channel, that is for my mom. I love you, Mom.
That's sweet though. That's really nice. So does she watch all your videos or only the cute ones you do and send to her? Do you know?
I don't know. After the first time she asked about it and went to my page, I don't ask anymore. I stay away from it because it's so embarrassing. Me like, Mom, I'm making mouth noises. No, I don't do mouth noises. I hate mouth noises. But like, I'm scratching the microphone, Mom. No, like, I can't imagine that. If I imagine that. Mom has no problem sleeping. She is the strongest, self-willedest person I have ever known. Like, she's like, I'm going to go take a nap for an hour. She naps for exactly 1 hour.
That's tough. Yeah.
She was like captain in the military.
Right
yes. She was an officer in the military during Desert Storm. So that's my mom. I went to kindergarten and I wore shirts that says, my mom wears army boots, which, used to be an insult, but I was wearing it proudly.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah, she's awesome. She's been a nurse since before I was born.
Yeah.
The motorcycle jacket that I have is hers.
Yeah.
She gave it to me. She was a motorcycle babe and just got my dad to agree to it. Like, my dad was all muscle cars and stuff, but my mom got my dad to agree to it. Like, she was playing soccer and riding a motorcycle when she found out that she was pregnant with me.
Wow.
I heard motorcycle.
Yes, my mom is a motorcyclist. Yeah.
I've got 2 Harleys. Cheers to that.
Nice. Since her diagnosis, my mom is in stage 4 breast cancer. She has switched to riding a trike with Dad because she's on a lot of pain management. So if you do prayers, if that's your thing, do include my mom, please.
Definitely.
She sounds like a badass, I'm sure.
She is a badass. She worried about like not being since she's older now and she's dealing with stage 4 cancer, she's like worried about like, I'm sorry I wasn't a stay-at-home mom and spent more time with you. And I'm like, no, Mom, you were awesome. You were the best role model ever. She worked for the CDC. How cool is that? Like, when I do that whole like bring your parents to work day thing at school, I'd be like, my mom's with the CDC. She's going to teach us about infectious diseases today. Yeah, And
that's awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was great. So I was like, no, Mom, don't you dare apologize for getting me. I love sciences. Recently, I've been thinking about going into mortuary sciences, like becoming a embalmer, funeral director, and all this interest that I have in science and medicine and stuff like that. It all comes from her being badass and smart, and both of my parents having like incredible, crazy, awesome jobs. My dad is an electrical engineer. So I had 2 great role models of, girls can like science.
Yeah. So what did they think when you were like, I'm moving to Texas? Because it seems like that's even bigger than like doing YouTube. So how did you like tell them that whole thing?
I did kind of spring it on them suddenly, but they had sprung it on me like, hey, we're buying a RV and moving to Texas Colorado, and buying a piece of property so that your mom can go through mom could do the drug trials and stuff with TBC and all that there, which helped a lot because the first round of chemo damaged the nerves in her hands. And the CBD oil actually helped her regain ability to move her hands and use her hands for like cross stitching and stuff and gardening. Like before, it was just painful for her to do anything. So like they just up and moved off to Colorado for like 2 years to go and do drug trials and do CB oil and all that. And then they would drive back in the RV, but they technically owned a piece of property there because, you have to own property to be able to get one of the little cars.
I mean, that's awesome that they're able to do that, though. That's even an option. Like, my aunt has brain cancer and has done a lot of the oil stuff, and it helped her a whole lot. So
yeah. Okay, sorry. Complete weird tangent. Hate the war on drugs because it prevented a lot of things from being studied. Like, I don't think that everything should be legal, but I'm upset that it wasn't studied properly in a lab as a possible actual real drug.
Yeah.
We do Oxycontin and it's horribly bad for us.
Yeah.
We do Adderall and all sorts of stuff that's really, really chemically intense and side effects. And we didn't study.
There's a lot of money in all of that, man. It's too cheap to go out and grow like marijuana fields. That's too cheap.
It's too cheap. It's kind of just like moonshine. Moonshine corn's too cheap.
Yeah.
The government can't make money off of it. So
yeah, it's shady.
Drugs are bad because don't do drugs.
Like our insurance and all that stuff in America and how crappy it is. So.
Yeah. So I'm glad there's a change. I'm glad that it's finally being studied as actual drugs because it should have been the whole time. We're like 40 years behind on our research.
Yeah.
But glad we're finally getting there. Like Alabama's passed laws for the oil for people that have seizures and stuff like that. Yeah, it's used to detox opioid addiction. Yeah, Pamela there in the comments. Totally off topic here, but like power to the people that like at least let us research it properly.
Yeah, and that's what gets me. Like there was a recent story about these parents whose kid, I think he or she had seizures or had something wrong.
Like 70 a day.
Yeah, and they gave the child marijuana and it fixed, it helped them, but they got charged with giving their kids, marijuana. Like it was a big deal. And it's like, it obviously works. It works in different states that have, recognized that it's effective. It's like, why are you going to jail these parents who are just trying to help their kid? And I mean, just legalize it. It's obvious. It's so stupid. Like I'm drinking beer. This is more likely to get me to cause a crime than marijuana.
Yeah, you're more likely to go into a rage and like beat somebody up. Have you ever heard of somebody that's high getting into a fight ever?
Yeah, I got into a fight with a bag of Cheetos.
I was about to say, pass the chips, you motherfucker. Wait, stop targeting.
Yeah, it's so stupid. And that's the reason I smoked weed the first time I did, just to have an opinion on it. Because people, like, you had your people that were like, oh yeah, man, it's great. And then you had the people that were like, oh, it's the devil. It's so harmless. It's like
thank you, Doodles.
It's insane that it's still illegal. Like for us, like it's legal in DC, but it's illegal in Virginia, and it's crazy because like, oh, the lawmakers get it, but we don't.
I just think it's crazy that I think anyway you should be able to seek any kind of medical treatment, whether it's experimental, whether it's like marijuana, anything. I mean, if you're to that point.
To release a lot of the bans on experimental drug trials and stuff like that.
Which is one of the better things he's done. Like that's insane.
Say he does a lot of he's a reality show craziness, but I like that.
Yeah, it's like I mean, I think the initial thing I think at its core it was experimental drugs are now legal. Like to where a doctor before they couldn't I'm screwing up. But yeah, like before, if there was a drug that wasn't approved by the FDA or whatever, like they couldn't, prescribe it. But now the patient has the right to try it, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. But yeah.
Pain pills and all that stuff is scary. Like, I mean, I've actually just had a couple of people just like I saw insurance and they just talked about their kids getting addicted to pain pills and stuff like that, and then they get addicted to heroin and all that. And it's like crazy how many people that affects.
My sister is in rehab right now for opioids for her neck problem that she got working as a nurse, like turning bodies.
Yeah. It's terrifying.
It happens to everyone because they're so addictive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
do you know how long you're chemically addicted to marijuana? 3 days. The mental addiction goes on longer than that, but the chemical addiction only lasts 3 days.
Yeah, even the people I know, if I would classify, like, I guess mentally addicted, like the people that are like super stoners I know, like, I don't think they're gonna ever rob from me or do it themselves any like self-harm except maybe sit on the couch too long.
They
And
may
even
beg
them,
you
they're
like,
so-
dude, please loan me $20.
and on a society average of like what I see, like how like a lot of people are, they're like above average functioning. So you can't really. There's nothing I can really say against it compared to like opioid stuff. Will make you, next thing you know, you're hawking shit at a pawn shop to like buy some pills or get some cheap heroin because heroin's fucking cheaper. So it's crazy all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
That's insane. But yeah,
it's
like it's
depressing
just
when you think about it. So that's some real dark stuff. Like
Sorry, I
that's real
took us into
everywhere.
this dark corner here.
Yeah. But
no.
it's
I think it
sad
needs to
too.
be
Like
talked about. Like
it
it's
affects so many people. So
yeah,
It
it's just
does.
crazy. Like
It
the only thing.
affects a huge percentage. Everybody
Yeah.
knows somebody.
yeah.
Yeah, like the only thing it's done for me is like it makes cartoons really like enjoyable, like more enjoyable, and it makes pizza taste amazing. Like
Have you ever tried the History Channel?
oh
was-
yes, fucking
universe.
What
When
is
you
that
watched
show
the parallel
called?
universe episode? Holy shit! Mind explosion.
yeah,
Like I don't do that anymore, but I was in college at one point, and the History Channel is way more interesting.
Aliens.
yeah, it's great. Like I think it should be legalized. Like I haven't smoked pot in a while. I mean, seriously, especially in a while. Like I used when I one of my exes was super into it, and I was doing it like every other day at least. But I mean, like it's not something I'm addicted to, but it's something that's like it's so like harmless. It's like legalize it. It doesn't harm anybody. Literally, if alcohol is illegal, if alcohol
that
is legal,
what I just typed into the comments. Like I think that it is less abrasive than alcohol.
yeah, because I've known angry.
I'm way more annoying than I am right now on a tequila than I would be high.
Put that bottle back up.
He's judging.
Okay,
how much
I was trying to
you
see
drink.
how much. I thought like I caught a glimpse, and I thought you only had that much left.
Yeah, it
oh
looked
my
empty when you
god!
first put it up there the way the stream was. I was like, holy shit.
I was like, we just killed our guest.
I'm only like a third into it.
Okay.
Oh, and believe I'm German. In mostly the largest percentage of my background is German.
Yeah.
I can do like 3 cups of vodka, so I'm probably okay with the amount of tequila. I'm getting really silly right now, but I'm a happy drunk. I'm not gonna end up crying on you.
Now, this is a fun stream. I'm really enjoying it. Like
Yeah, 2 hours has already gone by, and I'm not even like.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't let us keep you, but like I'm down to keep on going.
I
Like,
made today completely free for you guys.
hell yeah! Cheers to that. Oh, my coaster keeps sticking. I need
So-
some salt.
Though I am out of my chaser, so I might
That's-
have to leave y'all for a second to mix up a little bit more.
Okay.
That's fine. But yeah, I'm having fun. I'm down to go for another hour. Fuck it.
Raw ASMR.
I'll
be right back.
That we should start. We should put together like a highlight reel, like each month of like the stream, or even like more, like a too long didn't watch or something. I don't know.
I could do it. I've gotten good at that. Yeah, we should. I also think we should just I should drink more often. Like I've gotten into the habit of drinking during the streams, and that's been a lot of fun. But yeah, while she's gone, I'll catch up on the chat. I know I'm sorry.
The chat.
Yeah.
It's all over my kitchen, everyone.
Oh no, that sucks.
The Yeti mic has such range.
It does. Rebecca was asking what I said about her. I was saying that you and Spooky should be friends because she's into ASMR and science. Like she's talking about infectious diseases and stuff. That's right up your alley. Pamela said, I do the medical marijuana. I had a lot of problems from my chemotherapy. Yeah, it's like marijuana is just, it helps so many things. It's like it should be legal. White House said it's the perfect time to invest in medical marijuana stock in the U.S. and Canada. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, there are some companies. So
that's definitely a good thing to look into. Pamela said, I have fibromyalgia now, and the pain clinic cannot control my pain. I switched from opioids to marijuana. Yeah, one of my exes had something similar. Like, from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, but fibromyalgia is like, the knots in your back and stuff. And she said that it helped her a lot. And I get those sometimes, so I definitely know it helps. White Owl said, people who are high never get speeding tickets. That is probably true, because you definitely focus in on everything. It's like, the first time I got high, I had to ride with somebody, and I was like, oh my God, we're going to get pulled over. So you pay attention to things a lot more. Rebecca said, I'm pretty sure if medical marijuana was legal here, it would really help my chronic back pain, but they would rather me take pain pills. I'm sure
I think she meant pills. Yeah.
That's the thing. And like, people say it helps their back pain, but they won't do it. But
nerve pain. Yeah.
It's sad. Like, I mean, I have back pain, not chronic, but I mean, like, I've had back pain, but like, I can understand where marijuana would definitely help, ease it. So it's sad that, it's like, oh, we have a cure, but can't have it.
Yeah, I want to do a conspiracy video on the war on drugs one day, because it is very, very sketchy, everything that's goes on. And it almost seems like crazy, kind of like the whole like government spying on your phones and everything with the NSA. Like, that sounds crazy, but it happens. But like, there's some crazy stories about like, I mean, we're in Afghanistan just to supposedly control the the opioids there, because that's where they grow poppy seeds, oil, all that stuff. It's crazy.
Have you seen the new research like from England and Europe that LSD can cure or help mitigate the symptoms of long-term chronic depression? Like, you take LSD and you stay with your therapist through the whole trip. Like, you stay in the building, not like they release you into the wild or you do it at home, but you stay and you get therapy while you're on LSD.
Yeah.
And it can help mitigate the symptoms of long-term chronic depression.
Yeah, I've heard.
And we haven't researched this for years because of the war on drugs.
I've never done LSD, but like I know friends have. But I read on Reddit, because that's an expert place to read about drug use, is that people who microdose LSD, like, it helps their depression and anxiety, and like anxiety and depression are like really linked. Like, it's just they're like polar opposites. So a lot of people have one or the other, or a mix of both. But like, supposedly microdosing LSD really helps you.
Like, back in 1975, right before it was outlawed, MIT, one of the big Ivy Leagues, did a research on LSD where there was several students that were stuck on their thesis.
Yeah.
And so they gave them LSD and time to just think about it. And then afterwards, they had thought a way around their problem for their thesis. And it's like, because that's what LSD does. It takes unusual routes. It makes you reroute things. And that's why, like, you'll route to a thing that was a memory, and then you'll see it in front of you, because it confuses your memory routes with your sensory routes, stuff like that. But it reroutes things. So in small doses, observed by a doctor, guided so that you don't freak out. It's like, it could have had a lot of benefits, and we are way behind on the research for it.
Yeah, Steve Jobs talked about a whole lot about like doing it and how it changed his life and going to India.
Exactly. He was like, I'm just going to take some things and steal them from other companies and then claim their new technology, and everybody will buy it.
And they did. And also,
and they did, and it worked amazingly.
To the people in the chat, this might be a well-known fact. I don't know, but I feel like the need to share it. But like the Beatles, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, that was about LSD.
Oh man, was it?
They talked about how drugs affected their different albums a lot.
Yeah, Lucy, Sky, Diamonds, LSD.
I've been listening to a lot of classic rock lately.
Yeah, it's good.
I think it's because I'm getting old. I think for some reason I can start relating to it more than I could have before, and it makes me feel bad, because it's like all of a sudden before it's like these are good songs, but now all of a sudden I'm starting to like.
What are you, like 28, you baby?
Yeah. What, I mean, how old are you?
See, I'm in my 30s.
Are you really?
I would not have guessed. I thought you.
I would have never. Would I have ever? Wow.
I thought you were like 21. Not gonna lie. I was like, can you drink that Patron?
Yeah.
Are we?
Yeah,
Weird.
no, a lot of people don't believe it, and I think it has a little bit to do with like I am 5'3" in real life.
I thought you were going to say because you're a vampire, but
I didn't wear my fangs because I thought I might like accidentally swallow them. I have like Hollywood grade FX fangs that I should be able to eat and drink in, but
yeah.
maybe not drink alcohol in.
I just really
But
like
they
things,
snap
Ethan.
over my teeth. They're really awesome. I use them in my vampire kidnapping videos. I love my fangs. I had a fang smith make them. He is a fang smith from New Orleans. His name.
Oh, wow.
I believe it. I fucking believe it because New Orleans is into some crazy shit.
They have vampire clubs.
I fucking believe it. Like they are some crazy shit. Like
They
they've
do.
got some
In
weird
my
stuff.
video, I link his whatever social media. I can't remember his name at the moment because I've drank that much. But yeah, I had an actual thing. I had to sit with my mouth like this for an hour while they dried. But they fit over my teeth and snap into place. They're Hollywood quality FX teeth.
Wow. I have a pair of Halloween store ones that were like $2. I haven't tried them yet.
I do have fangs, but no, it's because I'm so insanely short. Like both of my niece and nephew that are over 13 outgrew me. They outgrew me at the age of 13, and they're bigger than me. And I guess maybe it's because they manage my stress better. I'm a miniature adult. I am like a 7th grade sized adult.
See, that's what used to scare me. Like my mom and my dad are both really short. Like my mom's 5'1", 5'2". My dad's 5'5", 5'6", and all my sisters are short. And I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be a midget. And,
how tall are you?
I'm 6'2". Well, 6'1", 6'2".
Milkman, baby.
Like 6.
It makes you wonder. But I have a twin sister, so it's like.
Oh, twin sister, yeah. And is she tiny?
Yeah, she's 5'2".
Oh,
They don't look like twins at all. They don't even look related. So.
Do you have an Instagram? Do you have a picture with your twin sister? Because I think sister boy and girls are the most interesting ever.
You should really have her on a stream one day, Blake, just to have
She does
her.
have stories. Let me check my Instagram and see.
We've said that before. I don't even think I've talked to Brittany that much. I've literally talked to her about insurance more than like anything about her ever.
Yeah, Ethan's an insurance agent.
So it's Brittany and Blake.
Brittany
and Blake.
At least they didn't do them rhyming. I hate when people name their twins rhyming. I want to have twins. Twins run in my family, and they run in my man's family. So I want to have twins.
You should. I mean, you have a good chance then.
Yeah, I'm a twin, and I also have twin nieces. But of course, my sister and I are fraternal, and my nieces are actually identical.
I lost my twin in the womb.
Oh, that's
I am a survivor of, or I absorbed her. I don't know.
Oh shit, I actually just watched a video on the absorbing thing.
Yes, that is a thing. It could happen.
Yeah.
No, she was stillborn, so I don't think I absorbed any of her. But that's why I always I feel like I missed out on something when I hear of other twins. Because they have special connections.
Yeah, my sister and I mean, we finish each other's sentences every now and then, but we don't have the stereotypical, ESP.
They also stereotypically hate each other.
Yeah, we fight a lot. Let's see.
And she has all the ghosts and hates them, and you want them.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I might be able to make this work.
Rebecca literally told you where some stuff was. Yeah, just switch it to the screen thing. It works really well.
Yeah.
Usually.
Working on it. Yeah, I always wanted to get my sister and I to have some prearranged questions that we would just have the answer to. So it'd be like, name a random color, green. Name a random number, 37. But she would never do it.
So so y'all didn't do that secret language thing that some twins do? See, even though I didn't have a twin, I do have psychic connection with my sisters. So I'm 6 or 7 years old, and we had an above ground pool.
Yeah.
And in the South, you know how cold it gets there in the winter, our above ground pool froze. And so I decided that while my sisters were busy inside, Stephanie was talking on the phone, I was going to sneak out to the pool and ice skate on it because I had these nice ice skates and I hardly ever got taken to the actual ice rink. And I skated around the edge of the pool successfully several times. That was all cool. So I decided I was going to skate across the center. I went through the ice. Like, and if you know about going through the ice, is a lot of times you hit at an angle. So you swoop out from the area, the hole in which you went through. And so you're stuck underneath the ice. That's actually one of the dangers, is that you sort of like curve off at an angle and you don't know where your hole is anymore. I'm stuck under the ice. I'm freaking out. Luckily it's cold, so I'm using less oxygen. And I'm like in a full winter coat, ice skates on, like I'm really heavy weighed down. My sister, who is on the phone with her friend Kimberly, and Kimberly remembers this, Stephanie's like, shit, Andrea's in trouble. And so she runs off and comes outside and sees that the pool gate is down because it's got these little steps. And she jumps into the pool and saves my dumb ass.
That's crazy.
She was on the phone inside, didn't hear anything because her bedroom and my sister's bedroom are at the front of the house. Me and my parents' bedroom are the only bedrooms at the back of the house where the pool is. So she couldn't have heard me. And I was in there for a bit. She literally had to pump water out of my lungs. I was unconscious at that point. And I wake up and, Stephanie is screaming at me for being an idiot, but she had a feeling. And one of the other times that I've been in mortal peril, in my touch with the deathly side, I have had my heart stop for 2 minutes. I was clinically dead.
Holy shit.
My middle sister, the other one, she had a feeling something was wrong and called my parents and found out I was at the hospital. So, and then she blew up a truck's engine running to come and see me. So even though I lost my twin, I still have some sort of weird connection with my sisters when we can tell when something is mortally wrong with each other. I had an incident where I fell off the roof and I was laying unconscious. I was a really troublesome kid. I was laying unconscious on the back porch because it was concrete. And that's when my middle sister was like, there's something wrong. I need to go check and look for my little sister. And she found me on the back porch unconscious because I had fallen off the roof. I was really troublesome. But yeah, but I still feel like I missed out on something of having a twin. Because I feel like twins have a special connection.
Well, that's one thing. Like one time, speaking of connections, like I had gotten hit really hard in the stomach with a metal baseball bat, and my sister knew about it because she was the one holding the bat. But yeah, like that was our childhood. But this is my sister. Let's see. There we go.
I like your sister.
Yeah, she's
that's
trouble.
Something special.
But yeah, we don't really look alike. Like she's 5'2", I'm 6'1", and she's got tan
Busch
skin.
Gardens or
that was King's Dominion.
Yeah, so it's an amusement park.
Like my dad has Native American, and my mom's side is Scottish Irish, and I definitely got the Scott Irish. She got the Native American. That's a very light picture of her.
Yeah, usually she's really tan.
nothing like.
Yeah, definitely a milkman. But the thing is, my parents, my parents were trying to have a boy because I have two older sisters. Well, I have three older sisters, but I had two older sisters, and they wanted a boy, and they tried again, and they had a miscarriage, which was a boy. But then they tried again, and they had my sister and I, so she was the accident.
That's because they were having sex too early.
Too early in the day or what? Because they were like 40.
Sperm swim at different speeds. The boys swim fast but die soon. The girl sperms swim slow but last longer. So they were having sex before your mom was fertile. And so the boys would swim there fast and the egg would not be there yet. And they'd be like, well, shit, what are we supposed to do? And then eventually they die off.
Yeah.
And the girl sperm were swimming slowly. And eventually they'd get there at about the time that the egg would drop.
I'm going to call my mom tomorrow and be like, what the fuck were you doing?
That sounds pretty hot, Blake.
It's like, yeah.
Sorry.
Is this why I have to share a birthday?
I
Sharing a
told you
birthday sucks,
I
by
have
the way.
interest in medical stuff.
No, you're fine.
Better than sharing Christmas as like a Christmas birthday. Rebecca kind of gets stuck with that.
What I hate
Oh my
is like,
goodness, does she have a Christmas birthday?
I mean, hers is in like early middle December, so it's not the word. It's literally like 2 weeks before.
My
But,
man's
I mean-
little list sister is exactly Christmas Day.
Oh, that'd be so rough. So do they get twice the presents or just
No,
one
she
day? I
doesn't.
see, it's a trap. It's definitely
It's
a trap. Yeah.
yeah, it is a trap. Like when we were kids, like my parents would, they'd give us gifts to both of us. Like they'd have little gifts for each of us and they'd have a big one for both of us. And like, for example, like one year we got a hockey table, another year we got a 4-wheeler. And it was like this big thing. And now that we've moved out and gone our separate ways, I had to buy the hockey table out from under her. It's like you have to share these presents and then you have to buy them out from your twin. So that sucks.
Yeah, they buy each other out. It's very business-like.
That
Yeah.
is crazily business-like.
That's where Blake learned how to wheel and deal as a businessman, was just dealing with his twin problems.
It is. Neither of us have enough money to like buy out the 4-wheeler, so it's just sitting at my parents' house
It's
until we
parked.
figure
It's
that
got
out.
like one of those parking meter brake things. Like no one
Wow,
can take it
does you
anywhere.
look sexy in that picture, Blake?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. It must be the scarf. I never wear scarves. So
Were you really wearing a scarf in that picture?
I was. It was a cold day.
I didn't even
I
notice.
believe
that.
it was an October day.
Oh man.
But
The
yeah,
best time to ride rides.
thanks, White Owl. I appreciate it. Yeah, we like roller coasters a lot. So my sister and I, like when we bond over going to different amusement parks. When I was a kid, I was a pussy. Like I was terrified of loud noises, terrified of roller coasters, and my
Me too.
sister. Yeah, and my sister, I was always taller than my sister. My sister's like, always been short, and she'd get on the big rides, and I was terrified to do it. Didn't like it. But now, like when I finally got over my bitchiness and like got on one, I fell in love.
Yes, me
So-
too.
Yeah, because like my very first ride was King's Dominion, which is in Virginia. Like you've got King's Dominion, Carowinds. I don't know if they have anything in Texas, but it was owned by Paramount, which was Nickelodeon and all the big movies and stuff like that. And they had a Scooby-Doo roller coaster, and I remember getting on it when I was a kid, and it scarred me. It was so bumpy. It was really It was a wooden roller coaster. It scared me, and I was afraid of roller coasters for years. And then I finally got forced onto a giant roller coaster, and loved it ever since. So overcome your fears, people, because now like I'm a junkie. Like I will write anything. Giggity.
Yeah. I think at about 14 or 15, I can't remember. See, like I said, my sisters are way older than me. So my parents stopped taking family trips when I reached a teenager because my other 2 sisters were out of the house already. So my best friend would take me with her family trips down to Florida. And at like 14 or 15, I can't remember which, she drug me. She tricked me into getting in line for a roller coaster. So finally, I rode a roller coaster and I loved it. I was like, yes, this is awesome. Let's do all the roller coasters. So, yeah, I kind of had that same thing where I was just a complete wuss about it. And then, like, my whole new world,
Exactly.
a magic place. I don't remember the next line.
But yeah, that's how it was. Like my parents would make me and my sister go in line together so she wouldn't be alone because she was a little kid. So you don't want her to be alone in line. and we'd get to the very front of the roller coaster line, and she'd get in the seat, and I would just walk straight across to the exit. It was like, not today, Satan.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun. I mean, it's a lot more fun now. Ethan, you're just typing away, little keyboard warrior.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mute my mic. I'm talking to Michael Scott. He actually messaged us on Twitter.
It's like, let's do some things.
Let's go asylums.
Oh yeah, he's serious about it. I never knew he'd be that serious about it. Michael Scott's awesome. That would definitely be amazing.
Definitely want to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh, there was something else I was going to say. Damn.
You can tell that me and Blake are totally ADD. We have disrailed the stream completely. You have to watch it because I will do that. I will a million different topics, different trains of thoughts. This segues into that.
And I'm on Adderall. That's the bad thing. Like, I'm still, like, my ADD is so powerful. It can overcome amphetamines.
It turns me into a zombie. I'm like, I'd like to sit down and focus on things for a while. Somebody gave it to me at a party when I was like 17 because I refused. I am totally ADD, but I refused medication as a kid. I was like, you're going to have to shove that down my throat. I refuse. Because at the time it was the other one. I can't remember what it's called. The predator to Adderall.
God, I got it. Ritalin.
Yes, which the military might not accept you if you were on Ritalin because it can fuck you up long term.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought that I was told they didn't even accept you if you had ADD now.
But
crazy, dude.
So I had refused that, and I was just like, yeah. Somebody once gave me Adderall at a party. I was the most focused person ever at that party.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I was just like, I want to sit down and get my homework done early.
Yeah, for me, like, it just makes me really, like, a lot of times when I'm talking to people, I'll just be like, I'll say my stuff and then I'll listen to them or pretend I'm listening and be like, But Adderall actually makes me listen and makes me more attentive into the conversation, so it's fun. But yeah, like, I didn't realize I needed it.
Good night, Pamela.
Bye, Pamela. Sorry, I'm struggling on the on the chat.
Focus, Blake. Focus.
I can't. The alcohol is outweighing the Adderall. But
yes,
Blake's better not on Adderall. I'm having a good ass time. I don't know what you're talking about, Rebecca. I had mood swings for a while. You literally focus about the same. That's fucked up. Anyway, I didn't think I needed it. Like, during school, I had trouble paying attention. I would watch the teacher, but not actually absorb what they were saying. But I got on it when I was taking a phlebotomy class, and it made a big difference. But a lot of people abuse it. Like, from what I understand and from what I've seen, like, people that don't need it and they get on it, they get addicted to it. Then there's people like me that get on it and it's just like, I can quit whenever. But it just helps.
Yeah, because they think it's fun, and for us it's like,
yeah, it's like, oh, this is feeling normal, and the other people are getting super high off it. I just feel disabled. I'm like, man,
it's like, wow, this is what normal people feel like.
Yeah. Doodle said, my son had medication for ADD. I took him off of it after he killed my bird. Oh my God.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm always really sketchy of medication. Like, I know you need help, but like, you never know. Like, I have really bad anxiety, but I don't really ever want to be like medicated constantly. But I mean, the first time I ever saw someone snort something was in a college class. Like, it was just a group project we had. And we met for this group project at like 10 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. And this kid who's our group leader, it was awesome. Apparently he's like really big into Adderall, just straight up crushes his Adderall pill and snorts it in front of us. Then half our group, it's like 6 people, is like, I can't watch you snort that because it makes my nose tingle because I just do so much stuff. I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I was like the only one who watched it. I was like, hell, I've never seen someone snort something before. Let's go, man. Let's just watch it. So, but I was just like, holy shit. And then he just like by the end of the semester, he would just tell me these stories about him being like up late at night, can't sleep. He hasn't like slept in 3 days, and he told me he was going out driving to try to like unwind, and he just like saw this giant sinkhole open up in the road and just swallow up the universe. I'm like, dude, I think you might have some problems. But I think he's successful now. But I still always worry about him, and I would have liked to have worked with him one day, but I would always a little bit be worried about his drug use because that seems like a little much when you're hallucinating after 3 days of not sleeping. So who knows what else that kid's done. He's an awesome kid though, but still really out there.
That's crazy.
So yeah, it's very crazy.
Rebecca said Ethan literally needs to be medicated.
That's messed up, man.
That support. Thank you, Rebecca.
Marriage.
Yeah. No.
Drugs.
No, that's cute.
No.
Yeah, like as far as hallucinations, like I've never stayed up more than 2 days just because I haven't.
More than 2 days.
Yeah. Like I've stayed up overnight and tried to struggle, but like my like urge to sleep is stronger than Adderall, so I've never had issues sleeping. But like I do, like every now and then I'll catch like something out of the corner of my eye and be like, "What the fuck was that?" That wasn't anything. But I just,
this time it wasn't anything. It's a
ghost. Like, put me on the channel. Put me on the channel. I'm like, oh no, I'm just hallucinating. But yeah, drugs are fun, right? White Owl said, "Spooky. Are you vaping?"
Yes.
Do you even vape?
This is Cream Brulee by Jimmy the Juice Man.
Wow.
I love Cream Brulee. I am a dessert vapor. I unfortunately smoked for like 10 years of my life. I made it till I was 17. Everyone in my family was a smoker. My sisters, my mom, my dad, they were all smokers. I made it until I was 17 years old. I witnessed a horrific car crash in front of our house. I came back from the worst date in the universe. And I was like, I'm going to take a shower. And I came down from taking a shower. My hair was in a towel. My mom and my sister were watching the Animal Planet. It was a cat show. It was going to cheer me up. And we heard a crash because my parents actually live in this very dangerous curve. And so my mom, being a nurse, and my sister, being a nurse, were like, grab the first aid kit and some towels. And we went out with flashlights. And we were looking for the car. We had damaged the car so much that the lights weren't even working anymore. And we're looking around and this and that. And then I'm like, oh, wait, I see something. And I am like, I don't understand what I'm seeing. And, I'm looking up and looking down and looking what's right in front of me. And my mom tells me, she puts her hand on my shoulder and she's like, it's okay. With a crash this bad, he never even felt anything. I didn't realize I was literally like 12 inches from a corpse. The truck had bent back into its own truck bed, and it was horrible. Like, it was so bad, I didn't realize that I was that close to the actual guy. I was the one that found him. So my sister, like, mom stayed there until the cops got there and stuff. My sister took me off to the front porch and she gave me a cigarette and was like, you're in shock. This will help. And that's when I became a smoker. So I had been on vape. I have worked my way down to the 6 milligram and I'm a dessert vapor. And I decided to go on to vaping because it would help me. It helps my voice, which is important in ASMR. And, I can smell better now and I can taste better now. So anybody who's fighting the nicotine demon, vaping is wonderful. I don't look down on it. Because I do love the meme that it's like, I was walking around a corner and smelled something delicious and I thought I would treat myself to something wonderful. And I turned to the corner and it was just Chad and his cloud of lies.
I was literally just about to talk about that.
Chad and his cloud of lies.
We have a friend that likes to vape super good smelling stuff. It's like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, well, literally, like, our friend Cameron, he's in the, what video was that?
It was
the Sumter Doe video at the end. He's the vaping trucker, and him and his fiance, which they also met online, and she moved from Tennessee to Virginia for him after like
See?
10 years of knowing each other.
Sometimes your soulmate is far away.
Yeah, so that's why I was really interested in your situation because of that. But like they started vaping, and like now, like if they're at our house or even sometimes we party at like the basement of our office here, there's like a big room down there. Like you'll go down the next day and it still smells like cotton candy. It's like, was it a fucking carnival down here? What the hell happened? I'm just waiting for clowns to jump out. Like, what is going on? So.
That's great.
I mean, which is cool. It's way better than like if it was like claustrophobic room filled with like actual smoke, and you're just like, oh man, it smells terrible the next day. So
yeah. Oh, when I used to hang out with smokers, there would be this like midway in the middle of the room, there would be this level of smoke. Oh, it was so nasty, and it would get on the TV. And
yeah,
smoking is nasty. Never do it, kids.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I've dated a lot of smokers, but I've never smoked a cigarette.
Good job.
It's my only.
I haven't either. Never have I ever nicotine.
Good job to both of you.
Tonight, by the way.
That is a crazy thing to resist. And sometimes I dream of smoking cigarettes because
Really?
like this is all nice and cool and sweet. But sometimes I miss the burn because it's fire. And you're inhaling this hot smoke. And sometimes I miss it in my dreams. And I'll wake up freaked out that I'm about to burn the apartment down because I was smoking in my sleep. I'll like wake up freaked out. But it's okay because I haven't had a pack of cigarettes since December, which was my emergency pack.
That's awesome. It's hard to quit.
Which was only for emergencies. I have to thank my man for that. He is wonderful. And like all of my IBS problems, meeting him, he's literally made me a happier person. His outlook on life is so wonderful.
That's so sweet.
It
That's
literally
awesome.
has changed my physical health. I have gained 2 pant sizes.
Yeah.
2 pant sizes because I can eat again. I don't have IBS. I am not nauseous 24/7. And like that amount of stress relief, it's like, yeah, it's worth moving 1,000 miles to Texas. So anybody who's out there that's wondering about like, will I ever meet anyone? Maybe your soulmate isn't close by.
Yeah, I've been telling one of my
Sometimes
friends
it happens.
he needs to increase his Tinder radius.
Yeah, what are the chances that your soulmate's just living, in the same city as you?
Your soulmate might live in India, for all you know.
Yeah, you might just get a phone call one day and you're like, oh, I'm not going to answer it. But if you do, it might be the telemarketer that saved your life.
I've met a couple of really awesome customer service people.
They're
And
all
it's
named
like-
Bob and Jim. It's
Chad.
like, hello, my name is Chad. I'll be right back. I gotta get a beer. Sorry, guys.
No, you're excused. We're drawing out this longer than normal.
It is very, but it's cool. Let me see if I have any more questions while he waits. All right. So all right, you talked about like Texas and Alabama. Like which one's creepier or spookier? What's the strangest place you visited?
It would definitely be Alabama. Out here in Texas, I haven't yet. Now, Texas has a lot of ghost towns.
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten to explore them yet.
Yeah.
But Alabama, where I was from in North Alabama, there's this area not too far away called Flint. I guess since I don't live there anymore, I'm not as paranoid about revealing where I lived.
Yeah.
But Flint was supposed to be like the next great Boston because it touched the river.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to explode big. But instead, it shriveled and died and got consumed by the 2 cities around it, Decatur and Hartselle. But Flint is creepy as fuck. Like, I lived on a street called Tammy Street that was on the edge of Flint, and that was the creepiest place I ever lived. Like, I had horrible nightmares when I lived there. I would hear screaming in the woods all the time, like a woman screaming like she was being murdered. And I know what that sounds like. I was in an abusive relationship. It was the sort of screams that I would make when I was being attacked. But Flint was the site of 3 mass graves. One was a tuberculosis grave. Well, that's not the first one. The first one was the Civil War. There's a mass grave from the Civil War in Flint. Yeah. There is a mass grave from tuberculosis in Flint. And then there is a mass grave from either malaria or yellow fever. Both are passed on by mosquitoes. I can't remember which was which. But it wasn't until after TVA, which is the Tennessee Valley Authority, came in and sorted out like the dams and the river to make it less swamp-like, that the mosquitoes were a little bit under more control. There was a mass grave from all 3 of those in very close proximity to each other in Flint, Alabama. And Flint gave me the creeps. It's the place where I saw the ghost headlights, in which was the only place in which I was completely sure about it, because it was a road that had no turnoffs. And so the headlights appearing and disappearing suddenly didn't make sense because there was nowhere for a car to turn off. It was the place where I did not feel safe smoking outside on the porch by myself, because I felt like something hated me, like something wanted to do me harm. Flint is an awful, dark place, and that is the place where the insane asylum was that I visited with 2 of my friends, in which one of them mysteriously died 2 weeks later of unknown causes as a healthy 20-year-old.
Yeah.
So Flint, Alabama is one of those places that nobody's heard of. Nobody really knows, but it is insanely haunted. And so, yeah, I definitely say Alabama, but that's because maybe I don't drive around at night here at Texas yet. I worked as a night auditor at a hotel when I was in Alabama, but until recently, I haven't gotten all of my paperwork in order to be able to work in Texas. So I've just been a bum living off of my man.
Housewife, come on.
Yeah, total housewife and being a bum in Texas. But now I've finally got all my paperwork in order, so I'll be able to pick up doing a job again. Like I said, I've been thinking a lot about mortuary sciences, which is the name of the course. I would love to handle your body after you're dead.
Giggity.
Just become a body broker and sell body parts.
Got a video on that too.
There was a creepy story about North Alabama about that guy that, maybe it was North Georgia, but really close to the Alabama border, that ran the incineration place, the crematory, but he instead didn't cremate bodies and just dumped them all over his property, and instead gave people like wood ashes.
Yeah, I read one about this lady who ran a funeral home that she would cremate your body for free, but what she'd really do is like sell your body, and she would just give you like cement mix as your ashes. She got caught 10 years later. She had done they estimated like over 1,000 bodies like that, with like low income people that wanted their body like cremated, because that was like her target. It was just like targeting low income people.
I am surprised that Ask a Mortician has not done a video about that lady.
Yeah, I found it when I was doing research. We did like a body snatcher video in the 1800s with Sir Spooks, and I found it at the tail end of researching that that's actually still a thing. Like, there was one description I read of this guy that got caught because they had it was like their gardener for their funeral home was out like thawing out a body, where like with a hose just out in broad daylight, and like blood and goo and shit was just running down like the street, and someone reported like this strange thing happening, and what he was doing was like thawing it out because they just received the body to like donate to the local university from somewhere else, because they had this huge network, because they weren't even just doing it locally like the first lady I told about. They had this giant network that would send them bodies and then they would resell them, so they were like a middleman and like a wholesaler of bodies. Like, that's crazy, and it took them a long time to get caught too. So there's a big.
That's why I've gone ahead and decided to donate my body to science. So that like there's no shady business of my body being donated to science. I'm just gonna straight up donate it to science.
Yeah, that's the way to go. Because I don't know. It's crazy to think about things that could happen to your body, like Ethan was saying, like it getting sold off and stuff like that. So at least you know that something weird's gonna happen to it.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, me and Rebecca are gonna have hand in hand, like the Hunchback, and then we'll just have a whole army of Pomeranians that we've had on top of our tombstone.
Rebecca was just like creaming over those. Like
she was going into huge detail about how it's going to happen, and we need to have it ready just in case something happens to poor Sasquatch.
Like as far as my death plan, it's like either donated or just be cremated because it's cheaper. Like we're going through New Orleans and everything there has to be above ground because of the floods. She's just like, oh, we're going to get one of these. We're going to get one of these, little, houses. And we're just going to be buried with our hands interlocked. And we're going to have our Pomeranians scattered around us. And it's like, Rebecca, stop being weird.
It's a real thing. I mean,
do you have your living will wrote out? Because that's an important thing. And I don't know if you've ever followed Ask a Mortician on YouTube. She's amazing and is a positive death advocate. We're all going to die. I'm going to die. Y'all two are going to die. Everyone here in the comments.
You're going to live forever or die one day.
So, like, having that wrote out is actually a really important thing. And all you need is 2 witnesses to the signature. It's a really straightforward process, and you can have that verified. She tells all the steps about it, and she does a lot of other really interesting things. And she's one of the ones that got me interested in mortuary science because I have the mind for the medical field, but I do not have the bedside manner. Like, I would piss off patients. I would be fired immediately in a hospital for being like, suck it up, Tulip. I don't give a shit about your fucking, you don't like going in a bedpan, fucking shit in the bowl. So, see, I wouldn't do good with living patients, but I'd probably be pretty good with dead patients. Because if they talk back to me, we have other things to worry about.
You have content, quality content.
Yeah, there you go. Then it's on YouTube if they talk back to you.
That's how I see everything. Is like if I ever interact with a ghost and get on film, people are always like, "Oh, what are you gonna do if you're investigating somewhere and you see a ghost?" It's like, have great content. It's like I'll make a channel of just talking, hanging out with ghosts. What if it comes home with you? Good. I wish it would. I'll live comfortably.
I don't know. It depends. You could get a nice, playful spirit, or you could get someone that's really destructive. I mean, what if somebody's breaking your shit all the time?
You better be paying the bills.
They're not gonna.
YouTube.
I'm gonna get a Ouija board and just start spelling "fuck off."
Yeah, even before YouTube, I always had the idea of like, if you could just put cameras up where you live and just live stream it and pay for your rent that way. So, I mean, if he's breaking shit all the time on camera, let's do it.
I want to be the first lawsuit against
Cal, baby, is that you?
Yeah, they've been hanging out all day, all night.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they've been like the whole time.
That's my honey.
Really?
Oh,
that's really sweet. Now, my favorite thing about YouTube, like you talked about the search analytics, which I hadn't really ever looked at, but my favorite thing is looking at the countries where people go and how long they'll watch. So, like, Lex really carries us in New Zealand, or we have some lurker New Zealanders, but it's crazy to see, like, the off-the-wall countries that you barely ever hear of. I'll see some that watch, like, 10 minutes of my content. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So,
go New Zealand. You're hardcore.
Yeah, New Zealand. I would like to go to New Zealand. That'd be amazing.
New Zealand is nice. Land of the hobbits.
Yeah.
Beautiful rolling hills. Of course, most New Zealanders that I've ever talked to, they're really bored with New Zealand.
That's how Lex is.
It's because they're like trapped there.
Yeah,
I mean,
Lex is like, it's so boring.
Man.
I know Lex from a different server under a different name, but it's like, yeah, she's like, it's boring here.
Yeah, Lex is great. We like her a lot.
She is. Is she here?
Yeah, she
Just
was.
like,
was,
oh, Lex,
She
there
is
you
here.
are. Speak of the devil, and she shall appear.
Yeah, she's great.
They're
How we
like
doing?
New Zealand, like is like our third most watched country. It's crazy. Like it depends on the video. Usually it goes United States, then either like United Kingdom or Canada for second, depending on how it goes, and then New Zealand either is gonna be third or fourth. So it's pretty cool. I don't ever see Australia. It's like it's what do you call it? Ready stepchild, like New Zealand.
The Aussies are out having those. Oh, I forget what the party is where they put beer on the laundry spinny thing. They're out having those parties. The fucking bogans.
Sounds like a good time. Lex said, I've been lurking here since I woke up. We appreciate it, Lex. It's always good to see you.
It is. It is great to see more of Lex.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make me want. You say send help. Makes me want to rescue all New Zealanders. Like they're all just trapped there, like in this gorgeous place, but they can't leave. So
It's beautiful and rolling hills and lush valleys and beautiful coastlines.
it's
And
expensive to leave and go anywhere else. So like, fuck that. So
Lex said they drink beer from boots. Have you
Yes.
ever drinking Bailey's from a shoe?
one day, life goals,
I know.
dreams.
It'll happen one day. Man, we have been killing it. It's already been 2 hours and 41 minutes. That's our
I was
longest
just gonna
stream
stop
by
at
far.
11. I was gonna like.
longest stream
I
because
really had 1050s like read the last stories. We got 2 stories to end though.
How are we doing on the questions? Are we even done with those?
Hold on, let me see. I said strange. Oh, all right. So this could be. You can answer one of these or go in an order depending if you know it. What is your favorite YouTuber, mystery, haunting, and conspiracy? So what's your favorite YouTuber?
I have different YouTubers for different subjects.
Okay, all right, all right. What's your number? Like YouTube ranks your subscriptions with like how. What's your number one on your watch list? Like the one that pops up in your subscription feed is number one at the top.
Probably be Let's Read.
Yeah.
Because Let's Read is my horror narration horror narration go-to. His voice is the absolute best, absolute crack. For like just guilty pleasure entertainment, Bunny, Graveyard Girl.
Oh, Rebecca, my
She's
wife
great.
likes Bunny a whole lot. So yeah, I like Bunny.
I love Bunny, and now that I'm a Texan too, I'm like, yay! But she
Y'all
does
could do a collaboration.
kind of
You
the
should-
same
you should
aesthetic
stalk
as
her.
me.
Yeah.
Like she loves spooky stuff and weird stuff and like random fashion stuff. I love Bunny. So it's Let's Read and Bunny. If I was going favorite ASMR artist, it would have to be Articulate Design. His stuff is just crisp. I don't even have a beard, and I love his beard shaving ASMR. It's great. You should check him out sometime.
Rebecca's taking notes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Articulate Design. Let's see. Movie? No, not movie. You said
All right. After YouTuber, it's mystery, haunting, or conspiracy.
mystery, haunting, or conspiracy.
Or-
My favorite mystery is the Daltov Pass incident,
Yeah.
where the hikers went up in Russia to the Pass of Death or whatever it was, Skull Mountain.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it translates to. And the radiation, the pulled out tongues, the no damage on the outside, but like
Yeah.
extreme internal damage on the inside. What the hell? What the hell, Russia? Daltov Pass is the best mystery ever. What was after mystery?
All right. Hold on. We did a collaboration with Adina Pasic on that. That's what she covered. All right. Haunting is next.
Haunting. Favorite haunting?
Or ghost story, basically.
I would be interested on how there are crybaby bridges all over the U.S.
Yeah.
Because I know that there was a crybaby bridge where I grew up, but I know that pretty much every state or region of each state has their own crybaby bridge. So I would love a video on like why there are so many different crybaby bridges. I'm really losing control of my tongue at this point.
I think I'm there too.
This ending story is gonna be hilarious.
I am
It'll
just
be a good
thinking
one.
about that.
And what's the last one?
Okay. Favorite conspiracy theory?
Conspiracy theory. Oh. I guess my favorite conspiracy theory would have to be the war on drugs.
Yeah.
Even though it's not that conspiratable. It's like they can't make money on it. So they say, fuck us, and they want their money.
Yeah.
I think it's realistic. I think that's probably what's going on. Otherwise, there's no real reason not to. It's like there's no way that so many people are just blind to the fact that drugs, certain drugs rather, are beneficial. They're doing it for profit. So, I don't know.
So it's kind of conspiracy and kind of not. But I mean, we haven't put them in their place. So it's still a little bit.
It's definitely something. It makes you think.
Gotta rebel. Did we ask you, it may have been during one of my beer breaks, what your favorite horror movie is?
Oh, that is a hard pick. I was looking through some to remind me. Horrible story, but great cinematography was the remake of House on Haunted Hill. Like the story was incredibly crappy, but the way it was filmed was amazing. There's stuff like The Martyrs, which I don't think is that well known. The Martyrs is an awesome horror film. As an ASMR artist, I was a fan of A Quiet Place.
I really like The Quiet Place. That was an amazing movie. I've been meaning to make like a top 5 trivia thing about that and try and kind of make it like a live stream type thing where I film it where it's just me and the camera like this and the microphone. But that's one of the, I don't like to think it was a horror movie because Father Michael, I saw it with him and like
it's
Rebecca.
Kind of a family film.
I kind of thought of it as like a monster movie. It's because like
there was no cursing.
Yeah.
At all.
That's true. I
No
didn't
nudity.
Yeah.
And I liked how, did you know, I don't know if you realize this, you don't know a name of the single characters. You don't know any of their names, do you?
I didn't even think about that. That's I'll add that to my top 5.
Do you call people you are familiar with by their name? No, you don't.
Yeah, that's...
So it is told like you're actually just looking in our lives because you don't call people, you don't call her Rebecca.
Yeah.
You don't do that. And so, it's awesome that not a single character in the film is named. I felt like I was watching an M. Night Shyamalan movie when M. Night Shyamalan movies were good. Because I loved Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Unbreakable was awesome. Unbreakable is one of my favorite top films. I know earlier you were talking about a movie that you've watched millions of times, The Holes.
Yeah.
I have watched Gladiator thousands of times. I know it's not a horror movie, but I have watched Gladiator literally thousands of times. It's my thousands of times movie. But other than that, Unbreakable, I have watched at least 10 times, which is only topped by the amount of times I've watched the Harry Potter movies because I am a Potterhead to the extreme. But Martyrs, A Quiet Place, not the story, but the cinematography of the remake of House on Haunted Hill, like just the way they made the things jittery and they'd be far away and jittery and then they'd be really up close. It's a very slow moving storyline, but Paranormal Activity is the most similar to what a house haunting is really like. That's what got to me. For a lot of people, it's like too boring. But to me, it was really unnerving because that's what a haunted house is really like. It's little things that happen interspersed but slowly over time that build. That's what got to me, is because I felt like that's what a haunted house is really, really like. The entire Paranormal Activity series, I really like near the end where it culminates in what it's been building up to. No spoilers, but shit, if you haven't given the ending of the series a chance, then you missed out on what the beginning was slowly building up to.
I actually haven't. I've seen all of them, but the last one. Now you're making me.
I've seen all
know
of
what
them.
it is.
I've got the whole series.
Yeah, don't
man.
tell me. I don't
See,
know.
you own the whole series, so you know what I'm talking about. It culminates into something.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like after the third or fourth
Needs to
people
know if I
movie
like the
where-
supernatural. I'm okay with supernatural.
Yeah, she's a big Supernatural fan. I like Supernatural a lot. It's just it's gotten to the point where it's kind of like rinse and repeat. It's like every season it's like,
yeah,
oh no, this
Split.
brother died. Oh no, this brother died. But I still like it. Split was
Cal's
really
telling on me that I was wearing my Gryffindor shirt this morning. Yeah. Like we had a waitress at the restaurant that we went to that was totally flipping out about Harry Potter stuff because he was wearing his Slytherin shirt and I was wearing my Gryffindor shirt.
That's cute.
That's awesome. So Cal
Yeah,
is your
we are
you
house
said honey,
divided,
you
and
meant
yes,
your actual honey.
Yeah.
yes, my actual
Aw.
honey.
That's great.
So is he
is made-
supportive of your YouTube career? Are you making
Yes, I
videos
am.
creative? Yeah.
And he has his own channel.
Does he? I didn't know that. I did not know that at all.
It's
So what's
not
his
on his
channel?
Cal name though. That's
Okay,
why I
what is it?
wasn't 100% sure it was his. It's Obsidian Whispers. He does ASMR as well.
Really? Hold on, let me look up.
Storytelling. I think there's one video in which he actually brushes my hair through the video, hair brushing. I've been featured on his page.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Oh, he's telling me.
I see it. That's really
Sorry,
cool.
babe. I'm
That's really
drunk.
cool.
I'm just gonna go ahead and tell everybody.
We're all drunk. Maybe not
I
Ethan.
found
I don't know.
him. He hasn't made content in a while. Hold on, he's got. Hold on.
Obsidian Whispers. Yeah, he hasn't made content in a while, and
Oh, I
that's
see the
because
hairbrush thing. Hold on, that's
we
pretty cool.
had elephants move upstairs from us in the apartment.
Yeah.
They stomp around like they're walking on their heels like a 3-year-old toddler.
Yeah.
So it's hard to find a time period in which they're quiet. Which they've been surprisingly quiet tonight. Maybe they went out for Friday night. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
can only imagine what that's like for ASMR people.
yes, it's unfortunate. It's best to have your own house
Yeah.
for ASMR. Okay, I'm gonna go to the restroom for just a minute before
Okay, when you get back, we'll
we
read
get
the
into the
last story.
final stories.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright,
because
yeah.
it's like I wouldn't be able to make it through the final stories like this. So I'm gonna go
Okay.
really quick.
All right, Blake, do you have any questions, comments, or concerns about tonight's stream? It's been so long. It's been a good time, though. It's been so much fun.
It has been a lot of fun. It's been going by really quick. I don't know if it's the beer or what, but it's been a really good time.
That's the
Concerns
best
wise,
one.
I'm really concerned you're not more drunk.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to completely pregame because, like, get too excited and be too, because I knew we had to read a lot. So, I've had 2 pretty strong drinks. I mean, I've had a fun time. So, I've really enjoyed it. I like this stream. This is a good idea. But while people are still watching, what do you think of like the whole starting with a story, theming it around that with a guest? Because that's how we've been doing it the past 2 weeks now. And also, like, I kind of like based it around the pink spooky one because that was our most successful stream. Like we covered the Golden State Killer with her and then just did the normal stream like around that. That got a lot of views. And even our last week's stream has over 200 now, which usually they average between like 130 to 175. So
It's pretty
man,
good.
I didn't know how people like. I mean, I've enjoyed doing like I like making topics that we won't really be able to do a video on right away or even remotely. So picking like like I said, this one was based more on the Dogman videos, and even the stories we're going to end on are going to be similar to that. So I mean, it'd be really hard to do like a Dogman video where we could
Struggled
actually
so
like
hard
film it
on
really
the
good.
outro video. I'm in the
Yeah.
outro script. But yeah, it's been a good time. I've enjoyed it. I just remember that I forgot to eat today.
Yeah, I haven't eaten dinner either, and it's been. I'm not sure what I'll get because things are going to be closed. It's going to be a gamble. Roll the dice.
contemplating just ordering a pizza and hoping for the best. But I also want to do a Cuphead stream. So, does anyone want to watch a Cuphead stream? If you do, I'll do it. If not, then I'm just not going to do it.
I could play Halo or...
You want to play Halo? I'd be down.
I'll probably play Halo. Because, I mean, Rebecca, when I get home, she's going to be like, blah, blah, blah. Why were you so late? So...
Yeah, this stream's just flown by, man. It's been a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to play something.
I see play Halo. There we go.
Yeah, we'll play Halo then.
I don't even know who's going to be on my friends list. It'd be cool. Actually, Cameron would be getting off work. I don't know if he'd be up for it. He's into Fortnite. Everyone's into Fortnite. I haven't actually played video games since we gotten back. So it's been like a month of not playing games. I'm really bad at playing video games. Like actually consistently doing it.
Rebecca said you act like I'm not still here.
I was actually testing to see if she was still here because she was quiet. So I'm like, let's see if she's still listening. This is a test. So. Oh man,
yes,
hold on.
I
I gotta plug up my.
Moment.
Yeah, hold on. Let me plug up my laptop because the battery is getting low. Hold on.
Ethan wasn't prepared for the 3-hour stream.
Baby, you'll have to say bye to everyone too, like you did at the beginning of the stream when you said hi. Dr. Claudia Claw. See, like afterwards, I'm gonna feel like I have to apologize. Be like, I'm sorry, I got so drunk on your stream.
No, I am very tipsy. Like, don't feel bad at all. Like, I'm definitely the drunkest I've been on the stream so far. So, cheers to that. I'm not stopping.
Did I tell you that Michael Scott was actually serious about like doing the St. Albans? That's really cool.
Awesome.
I definitely want to do it. That'd be a really good video. Or a lot of fun.
Get everyone in on it. All right, are you guys ready to end? Like do the last stories and call it a night? Because it's been so much fun. Thank you, Spooky, for doing all this. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, sorry for keeping you for 3 hours.
No, I'm seriously tons of fun.
It's been a really fun time. Yeah. I've enjoyed it. Am I doing the first story?
Yeah, you go with the first story, and then there's a second story that me and Aaron are going to split up because it's kind of long. They're all kind of long. They're both kind of long, but they're good ones. So.
This isn't long in comparison to what I write.
All right, so let's struggle through this. All right, guys. I apologize in advance. Holy shit, that's a long story.
You good, man? You got it.
I got this. I can do it. I'm an outdoors. Struggled at the fourth word. I am an outdoorsman. I'm very experienced in hunting, camping, hiking, and general survival. I'm very familiar and used to wildlife, and I was charged by what I believe was a cryptid called a dogman. It charged me and my cousin. It was not a bear. A bear cannot move how it did. And it was not a normal wolf, as they can't comfortably run on 2 legs, whereas what charged us seemed natural at doing it. I can elaborate further if you wish. This happened around June or July of 2007. I believe I was around 17 years old and more cocky then, but still somewhat knowledgeable of the outdoors. My family used to own a cabin in northwest Wisconsin. I basically grew up there in the summer. I knew the woods well, but at night it was wise to stay in the cabin or at least by the bonfire at the beach because of bears, wolves, and cougars. One of the creepiest things was if you were having a bonfire, the tree line was visible from the fire pit and beach, and at night you would always feel like you were being watched from that tree line. But during the day, the woods always seemed normal, not so creepy, that is until this incident. So this happened somewhere between 12 o'clock and 14 o'clock. So 12 o'clock and 2 a.m. Me and my cousin were having an airsoft battle, and I was in woodland camo, but he was not. I retreated to the ATV trail into the woods for a tactical advantage, and our battle took us about 200 meters into a third of the way of the trail. We had enough at this point, and we're standing at the edge of a clearing on the trail, talking, and he was maybe 10 feet away from me when I decided to mess with him. I shushed him and said, "We're being watched." He froze. Then I realized the woods were dead quiet, and I got spooked and started scanning the tree line and the other edge of the clearing from left to right when I saw it. Its teeth gave it away. It was panting and staring at my cousin. I don't expect you to believe me, but what I saw was a wolf as big as a black bear, at least 300 pounds. But it wasn't normal. This was a wolf on two legs, crouching next to the tree with its arm grasping the tree, grasping with a clawed hand. It had reddish brown fur. I told my cousin that we have to go. And next thing I know, he was sprinting, and I looked back at Wolfie, who had locked onto me and sprinted a few steps on 2 feet. And then I turned and ran when it looked like Wolfie was dropping to all fours. It charged us and sounded right. It charged us and sounded right on our asses, barreling through the brush. But for whatever reason, it let us go when we broke out of the tree line and headed for the cabin. What stuck with me was the sheer size of it. Wolfie appeared to be nearly 7 feet tall when upright, and where it should have had front paws, it appeared to have large clawed hands. Now, I'm not sure how to explain what had happened rationally. I've heard wolves will occasionally kind of walk upright, but as far as I know, they can't sprint on two legs, nor do wolves get that big, and black bears more waddle on two legs. The closest description is silly, a werewolf or a dog man.
All right. Story number 2. Over the summer, I worked as a canoe guide in northern Minnesota. The following accounts happened within the same 10-day trip on Knife Lake, as well as on the Newfoundland Lake. It was a very long section of water for people traveling by canoe. It was about 7 miles or so. On night 5 of the trip, we reached the south arm of Knife Lake from Eddy Lake to the southeast and settled in on a campsite near the Eddy Falls. And I was nestled into a hammock for the night with a tarp pulled over me as a blanket to keep all the dew off. I was in a deep sleep, and it must have been around 2 or 3 a.m. It was still dark when the sun comes up around 4:30 in the morning there. I awoke to the sound of sobbing. It sounded like a woman, and it was growing ever closer. Then I heard footsteps coming from the brush and trees towards our campsite. The noise entered the campsite on the far side. I was sleeping on and off for a long time, but I could sense that whatever it was standing next to my hammock. Finally, I flung the tarp off, half expecting to scare a crew member, but instead my hand struck a rather solid body, which immediately sprinted off into the dense forest. Startled, I awoke my crew around me and did a head count, only to find that everyone was in their tents asleep. I waved it off as a strange bear encounter, and I went back to sleep. The next day, we moved to a campsite another 3 miles southwest down the lake and settled in once again. While I was there gathering some firewood, the scouts cooked dinner. As I worked throughout the forest, I heard a very strange, primal-sounding scream. Wah! That made all my muscles tense up and the hair stand up on the back of my neck. I involuntarily produced a strange, whomping, bark-like vocalization that I never heard before coming from my own body. It was straight fear. And it happened once more immediately after the first one. I was just shaking to the point. I tried to stay calm, recompose myself, so I got back to the camp as any good guide would do.
The following day, we decided to do something unconventional and go for a night paddle. We sat around camp all day and relaxed. Then around 10 p.m., we left camp and kept heading southwest towards the base camp. About 1 a.m., we came to the pinch of the land separating Newfoundland Lake from Moose Lake. Here, we had to cross a relatively narrow passage of shallow water. At its narrowest, it's probably 25 yards from bank to bank. We were exactly at this point when out of the darkness of the right bank comes a flying rock, and I mean rock. This thing was very large to have made it the 15 yards from the bank to the right in front of the canoe. Either a world strong man threw that rock or something really big living in the woods did. The rock landed on a flat shoal next to us, a piece of flat-topped granite about a foot underwater. The rock was so large it still had about 6 inches sticking out of the water and was too heavy to pick up. I still don't know what happened out there. But the really startling thing is that 2 days later, I was working the canoe yard back on base, basically just helping crews come off of water and get their canoes put away. One of my good friends, a fellow guide, came off the water that day. He was visibly weird looking. I don't want to say shaken, but he looked distant, as if he wanted to say something. I asked him how his trip was, and he said it was great, other than a few strange happenings. The second to last night paddle, and they were coming through the Newfoundland. Oh, I skipped a line because I'm ADD. One of my came off the water today.
It happens.
The second to last night, they were camping on Birch Lake next to Knife, and one of his crew members came running out of the woods screaming that they had seen a gorilla walk across the clearing. They were taking a dump. The next night, his crew did a night paddle, and they were coming through the Newfoundland Lake Pinch. A very large rock was thrown at their canoe. I don't know what to make of it at all, but there was definitely something other than bears and moose roaming the North Woods.
Too spooky for me, man. Fuck being out in the middle of nowhere by yourselves, trying to survive, and creepy shit happening to you. That'd be the worst.
I know, no one to help.
Yeah.
Just by yourself.
Yeah, can people hear you scream and you get ripped apart by Sasquatches? I don't know. Don't want to find out either. So.
Yeah. I think we did pretty good considering our alcohol consumption.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching all this stream. It's been a whole lot of fun. Thank you so much for being on here, Spooky. You've killed it. Longest stream yet. It was a whole lot of fun, you guys. So I appreciate it.
I had a blast. It was a good time. Anyone have any drink left? We got to finish.
I'm completely done. All I have is a little bit of water.
One more shot really quick. Even though I went as long as I could without breaking the seal.
Oh, man.
We'll know about that.
Yeah. Sorry, Cal.
I'm like trying to hold it all in.
Cheers. Yeah. Oh, okay. I got it. Woo! All right, but yeah, great stream. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for being on it. Check out her channel. Definitely. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to her. Definitely Whispering Spooky.
If you don't like ASMR stuff, there will be
spooky whispering,
personal spooky stuff that I will tell you about all of my crazy experiences.
No, it's really cool. And you live in Texas now, so you got like lots of experience from multiple places. So it's really cool. So cultured. So
cultured. I went to Germany. The only place that I can say was as spooky as the 3 mass grave place was literally visiting the Auschwitz camp.
Oh,
I would compare them in the same, like, if I'm a psychically sensitive person, I would say that being near 3 mass graves was similar to when I went to the museum at Auschwitz. And I have literally been there, so I can say that it's very similar. Bodies just being buried without regard for the life that was lived there, without respect. So yeah, scary places.
Sounds like Savannah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a really good time. I really appreciate you joining us, Spooky.
Like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends, send it all out, blast it out on Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, your friends, everything.
Yeah. I just linked Spooky's channel in the chat, so you guys go check her out. She's great. And check us out on our social media and our side channel, Stay Strange. We'll probably be doing some either Halo or something later.
And Discord, if for some reason you haven't joined yet, join us on Discord. It's the best time you'll ever have. except watching this.
Literally the best time I've ever had. And I've been to amusement parks.
Yeah.
Best time I've ever had.
It's like an amusement park in your pocket because you keep it on your phone in your pocket. So there you go.
It's the best time. Whiteout, we'll play Halo as long as Ethan doesn't fall asleep.
Yeah, I got to get some food. So it'll be around midnight our time. So in about like 45 minutes. So I got to get food, drive home, pack up my stuff. So we'll play for like at least an hour. So I love Halo.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts, anyone?
I really have to pee. I feel like Forrest Gump, like that's how I'm holding it.
I have to pee.
Yeah, see, I had to go.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching us. Again, I know I'm repeating myself. Thanks again, Spooky, for joining us. And we'll see you guys next week.
And until next time,
Stay
strange.
Bye.